What's What's up, everybody? Welcome back to another episode of the Wiley Show. It is good to be back, but I had to talk about this subject. Now, you guys, if y'all see Will, y'all see Martin, they got a new movie that's gonna come out. Bad Boys, y'all know I love this franchise. I feel like it's an important, but one of my subscribers brought something to my attention, and nevertheless, I'm like, is they saying that I'm going through something? Well, anyway, they're saying in a recent interview, they're saying that Martin Lawrence, he seems out of it and unwell, and many people think that maybe he's grieving. But Martin has been off for a while. It seemed like he hasn't been the same since Big Mama House. I think it's health related, but likely wants to keep his privacy. Someone put this on the internet, said they worked as an extra on Bad Boys film and noticed he seemed low energy, and then to so think that he's grieving as to what happened recently. But I want to say this, and I think people need to understand this. When you have been diagnosed with bipolar, this is the key. And I think they diagnosed Will with bipolar. Correct me if I'm wrong. That's what I heard. Okay. You do have your upbeat days, and you do have your days where you just low energy. Okay. And I'm going to just be honest with you. You do have your days where you have your upbeat days. You do have your days where you low energy. I mean, me personally, it just creeped up on me over this weekend. I don't know if it was the holidays. I don't know if it was I don't know what it was, but it just creeped up on me, and I'm like, but where's I'm feeling so low energy this weekend? Like, what is going on? And then woke up today. I just got out of it, and I think like for me, for anybody that know, when you are diagnosed with something like bipolar or whatever, I think honestly is scheduling is key. But when I look at Martin, I'm like, well, man, like he got the money and all of that, and that don't necessarily mean anything. You can have as much money in there as possible, but depression don't care nothing about your money. It really don't. It don't care nothing about your money. Now, what I've heard about Martin, and I just learned this in the chat here. One of the producers said that he lost a brother, or he lost a family member. But these are some of the comments under the comedy hype video. Someone said, "What's wrong with Martin?" Seeing somebody says something is really off about Martin. His slow reaction, stumbling of words. You can even tell Will recognize it by looking at him. But Will got his back though. Regardless, is Martin okay? He had a fist closed the whole time, and he's shaking a bit. Hopefully, he's good. I heard a while back he had a stroke. Probably calmed down due to the age and some health issues, and that could also be it too. And I've looked at it. That could be also a stroke or depression, and the stroke can cause by depression. It's really sad though, like this movie need to win. I'm about to be controversial, but we'll need this movie to work because the last couple of movies he have been flopping. He is an Academy Award winner, but that was overshadowed when he slapped Chris Rock. So he need this win. And then also too, and I've shared this with Pride of Me, and I've shared this with producers. I've shared it privately and publicly. I'm like, why is this man? Y'all give me a second. But why is this man going on tour? Clearly he's sick. Why is he going on a comedy tour? This is where it either got to be greed or he's spending money he ain't got no business. Because I don't want to see no 60-year-old. Give me a second. Stacey, y'all head over to YouTube. I don't want to see no 60-year-old man slurring over his words up there trying to do some comedy. The first thing I'm going to say is go get some rest. Because this is something that I kind of challenge myself. I'm in my 30s. You know what I'm saying? I'm still in there hustling. But I don't want to be 60-some years old still working hard. I'm sorry. Can I please say that? I may be called a hater. I may be called this and that. But I don't want to be 60 years old still working hard. I want to be able to rest and travel and go to somewhere around the world, but still working, still going on stage. And I don't think people understand it's a lot of work sitting down. Well, I think it's a lot of work sitting down, entertaining, all that. But going or get on the flight, getting on stage, you got to have material. You got to stay on top of your game. Then you got to go this show, that show, that show. But my point is this. When you get to a certain age, you shouldn't be working that hard. But in the way this economy is set up, everybody's working hard. I was just looking at a sister. It was a video that I saw, and this old white man was working at Walmart as a greeter, and he was like, I don't know what, I thought I could be out somewhere fishing, and he still had to work. Do you know how many senior citizens that are out there in the workforce? It's just so sad, and my heart do ache for that. But me personally, for my life, I'm sorry, Queen Bee Moore. I put it in my fast. I put it in my heart. I put it in my existence that I don't want to be 30 years from now still working hard like I'm in my 30s. Like, no, I want to be able to experience life. And the problem is the average person are not able to experience life. I remember it was a brother, he did an interview. He said his sister was never able to spend her retirement money. She worked all the way up and died when it close to retirement. She didn't spend a dime of her retirement money. So was it worth it? Then I'm remembered of a story of a postal worker in Dallas, Texas, close to retirement, died right in front of someone's front lawn, never got the time to experience his retirement, never got the time to experience a vacation because you put so much into the workforce. There's nothing wrong with work because I think you have to work to pay bills, etc. But when you get to Will Smith or when you get to Martin Lawrence type of level, should they really still be out here working? I just don't understand it. Like I'm trying to decompress this, and I am praying for Martin. But my thing is this, clearly we know he's not well, and I've reached out to some people, like I'm reaching out to his people or whatever. I just want to get a statement because, see, this is what these interviews, and I'm not trying to shade people. I got to be careful how I say this because people think I'm a hater when I criticize my brothers and sisters in media. But clearly somebody need to ask Martin, are you okay? Or did you have a stroke? See, I'll be the type of interview I can sense a spirit of how you look. The dude clearly scribbling over his words. Like, who is your rider? What? What's wrong with you? Like, ask him the right questions. This ain't no time to be asking him about bad boys. I want to know about your bad health. I'm just saying. Like, nobody is asking this man about his health, and then I have to read online forums about how they concerned. Someone said right here, hopefully he's good. I heard a while back he had a stroke. So where's the journalist asking the questions? I mean, I just want to know, and I know I'm going to sound bad, but Martin made a lot of money. You can't tell me this man's still working like he's in his 20s. Like, let's keep it real. Let this be the last. I think personally the last one was the last one, but I think Will needed this win. I think Will called Martin like, hey, bro, we need to get another movie because I'm flopping. I personally believe Martin did this movie only for Will. And I'm just keeping it all the way real. He just did it for him out of a friendship, because having friends, and then because he flopping. But me personally, he don't need to do this. I thought he had a stroke a long time ago when he up and hit the right. I thought so too, because I am praying that God heal him in his body, and I'm also praying that he be honest. See, the problem with a lot of these celebrities, they try to be private. No, bruh, you a public figure. I cannot be out here had a stroke and don't tell my audience. I owe it to the public, even though many people would disagree. If I'm having a crisis, a health crisis, the public needs to know. I can't be coming out here mumbling and grumbling and act like everything is normal. Somebody with some good common sense, like, hey, bro, like, what's going on with Wiley? You know what I'm saying? And Sinbad, he came out and he said he should have never made a joke about having a stroke, and look what happened. Yeah, because life and death is in the power of the tongue. That's why you got to say you're going to be wealthy. That's why you got to say you in health and strength, because your tongue, though it's fat, because my tongue is fat, it's power in the tongue. That's why I've already said when I step off into Las Vegas, it's going to be nothing but doors going to open up for me. I have to speak that for me. Because many people, especially it's a small sector or it's a sector, a big piece of it in the Black community, they speak being broke. Oh, yeah, I ain't got no money. Oh, I'm poor. I'm Black. I'm ugly. They speak so much down. You know what I'm saying? And they feel it. So I got to speak and uplift. Did the enemy try to creep in and to say what you're doing is stupid? What you're doing is foolish. You're going to fail, but you got to throw that out and say you will be successful. Doors will open up. You know, God got your back. You know, you really have to trump through those thoughts because the enemy will come in with those thoughts. And you got to come in and stop it and be like, no, I'm going to win. And so you definitely have to, because this weekend was, it was rough this weekend for me. It was really because it was them thoughts. It's like, especially if you alone, you ain't got nobody, you're in a relationship, that enemy get to creep in again. You think you're going to be successful there? You're going to fail. And all the thoughts come. And the old Wiley, the old Wiley will get in them thoughts and I would get sad. And I'll be gone for weeks. I won't sleep. But the new Wiley was like, devil, get thee behind me. I'm going to be successful. Amen. Though I'm going through much, but I know God want me there. And so, you know, it's a lot. So when I saw this Martin story, I did tear up. I did cry on the inside. And the inside I cried. But on the other side, Negro, you got money. I should be the one that's crying and swimming over words. Child, you got a staff, you got name recognition, you got all of this. What the world are you? But then again, if you had a stroke, a stroke don't care that you a millionaire. A stroke don't care that you got the #1 sitcom in Black America. A stroke don't care. When it's your time to get it, you gonna get it. And most of us get strokes. Some of us, if you look at the meaning of stroke, because of our bad dieting, because we didn't take our blood pressure serious, we didn't change our diets. I would never forget it. Just speaking about Martin Lawrence, reminded of my grandmother. And I reminded of my grandmother when my grandmother would say, oh, I got a headache. I got a hungry headache. She would have these headaches. Not knowing now that it was probably her blood pressure and she probably forgot to take her medicine. And then one day she was driving. She had a stroke while she was driving. She had a mini stroke, and it weakened her right side of her body. You know, so we have to take our health serious, and this is why Martin is one of the ones that can do it, because he is a public figure. He have influence, so influence us to take our blood pressure medicine, influence us to change our diets, because you don't necessarily have to be on blood pressure medicine if you change your diet, if you put the right things on. And he got the type of influence. He can get the best people on his platform to talk about that. You know, because obviously something is wrong. I have 2 eyes. I can see. Come on now. Come on. I can see. What Jamal said, he said, still drunk. Wow, I'm not drunk. But Beyonce said drunk in love. You know, I'm not drunk. No. Sorry. You tried it, you Barb. But Will did look at Martin. He looked at him. And this is Martin. He bubbling and grumbling, right? And Will just looked. I like Will, like, cut the cord on this promo run. Clearly, Martin is not well. When are we gonna be honest and say the man is sick? Need to be in somebody's hospital room, need to be recovering, need to be in somebody's prayer circle. Clearly, the man is not well. And I gotta say it, you guys in the chat. But clearly, when you go and you look at this comedy hype interview, you can clearly see, agree, Hollywood, including Jada Pinkett, its ruthless environment. Who knows how Will is feeling behind his smile either. Tired of this ish. Somebody said, obviously, Martin either has mental health issues or health issues. I'm going with the mental health because he ain't been the same since the 2000s. And that's true. A lot of times with bipolar, when you have that, right, you have to fight. And this is why I don't excuse, and I know I'm going to sound real bad when I say this. I don't have no sympathy for people that got money and still struggling and can't get the help, because y'all got money. Like, doors open up when you got that type of influence. Like, you can get the help. And then a lot of times he probably getting the help, as many other people, Kanye included, I ain't got that. I ain't doing that. Nope. You know, it's hard to get rich people to humble themselves to receive the help. So how do we not know he's not trying to get the help? But I've heard back in the 2000s, he did have a mental health crisis. I believe right around the time Big Mama House and Love, a Thin Line Between Love and Hate, like Martin Lawrence had like a mental breakdown. They even said that he was running outside naked, if I'm not mistaken. Do we have anybody that know that old history or Martin Lawrence? Let me see if I could just Google it. But I remember when they said that he had some stuff going on there. And let's be clear. And they said one time he had walked around naked. Can somebody correct me on that? I did hear that. They said he was walking out somewhere and he was like butt naked. Okay. All right, I just want to let you know that, but it was hard, and then Dave Chappelle said, "But what's going on with Martin? Why is he walking around like that?" He said it himself, and they tell a lie. Yes, he had a mental breakdown and ran into the street and took a break after that. Yeah, you see what I'm saying? So it's really rough. Like for me, like if I found myself feeling sad, thank you, and y'all could definitely call in. If I found myself feeling sad, I have to listen to music. I have to get my thoughts, and I have to get out that room. Like I said it today. I said, "Hold on, Wiley, it's Monday. Okay, ain't nothing wrong with you feeling a little down, a little time, but you got to snap out of it because it's not good. Because anything they say you have will activate, and I had to get up out of there. And I thank God for a community of people, for y'all texts and stuff like that. Thank y'all for checking in on me. I thank God that I have somebody because y'all check in on me before my family check in on me. Hello. But I thank y'all because y'all are new family. Y'all are extended family. And I thank y'all for checking in on me because, you know, I've went through a lot these past couple of months. But yeah, they said that was in the 90s that Carmen behavior towards Tisha Campbell. So I'm just saying, like, that happened in the 90s. So someone said it that happened in the 90s of him having a mental break, because I've heard about him having this mental breakdown, and it's sad because you could clearly see that he's not over it. You could clearly see that he's still going through it. You can clearly see it in his face. You could clearly see it right then and there that he had a lot of pressure on Martin and Tasha suing him in the 90s. And a lot of times too, you know what I'm saying? It's a lot being in Hollywood because you don't want to be a failure, because Black people, especially in Hollywood, they can't afford to have one failure. One failure is like death to those in the industry. So he was working so hard to stay up on top. He was on camera when all the helicopters fly overhead. Oh my gosh. And I do remember that. And I'm like, well, I hope and I pray that we understand that what Martin went through, he went through something devastating. And I do have some sympathy for him because I know how I feel, because sometimes I felt bad this weekend too. I was in my feelings, especially when I get quiet, when I'm not online. And that's what's not good. And I said, well, wait a minute, Wiley. So I went out for a walk throughout the trash, and I said, we cannot go through this that we went through last time. And it looked like it got better and better and better, because he loved when you just in that room. He loved when I'm talking about the enemy. He loves that when you in the room, when you ain't when you know what I'm saying? He loved that. They say he did a stand-up show about it. And I am praying for him, because at the end of the day, Martin need our prayers. Mother Karma have never forgot what people do. She always been Black. That's true too. And then also too, people understand that people go through and they mental. I think like to the Black community, what we say, oh, karma, we give these other, but we never address the issue is that people do go through in their mind. And a lot of people been going through in their mind before they became famous. Hello, say man or ouch. It's just like we don't put enough focus on mental health. As a Black community, we do not prioritize that. I'm sad to say, but it's just not, we don't. We say, give it over to God, which is a good thing. It's my faith is very important, but it's nothing wrong with having faith and going out and getting you a counselor. in a therapist. Because you know what I'm saying? I think that's like a cop out. Give it over to Jesus. Yes. And can we also give it over to Dr. So-and-so or counselor so-and-so too, so they can help you while Jesus guides you and really help you? Because you have to talk to somebody. You need a counselor. You need someone where you can vent. You know what I'm saying? And this is why when I look at this month, I'm like, it's nothing wrong with that. And this is why I talk about my experiences all the time. Is I'm like how I was beforehand? No. And because of the work, come on, Michael, because of the work that I did previously, I understand some triggers. One of the major triggers for me is looking at and overthinking. Like if you having something going through, you in my mind, I overthink it. Oh my God, think of the worst. And I stay in that worse, if that makes sense. And then when I snap out of it, it really ain't that bad. But if you stay into that and that becomes your reality, it's hard to snap out of that. And so that's why it's important to not get in it. And it's important not to get stuck in that. They said that's a big gap, thin line between Big Mama How, but he did have a stroke in the 2000s and he's grieving the loss of his brother. Others said in an interview his mental health is fragile. Yeah, I could definitely tell, Quinn, because I'm looking at it. I when I looked at it, I cried because I saw myself. I saw myself, you know, from that. Like that's why I'm like, oh, let me get up on that. And I feel so good just being on the air with you guys. Honestly, I do. I feel amazing. If I could just bottle this feeling up and keep it all the way, but it's just like when you off camera. A lot of time, a lot of entertainers they'll be like, damn, like it's you and your thoughts again. And that's why, you know what I'm saying? And there is no medicine. Well, let me say this. I don't think there's no medicine to replace like you to forget. No, I think that whatever you go through in life, you have to fight to keep your mind, and you have to get around great people. And a lot of times too, Martin probably have thoughts that he probably never dig up from his childhood, from his mother, from his father, from whomever. And clearly the reason why we bringing it up because we saw an interview of him and he was not looking the best. They said, oh my God, what's going on? Grieving from what? He looked unwell during the Oscars. I hope he's okay. Yeah, he did look unwell and doing that wasn't doing the Oscars. That was doing the Emmys when they allowed the Martin show to do. He didn't look the best at all. I'm like, oh my gosh. I am really praying, and that's why sometimes I'm not going to be judgmental because I remember sometimes we could be so judgmental and we forget that brother is going through something. Because I can tell he's going through something. Press one, have y'all been keeping up with the promo run of Martin and Will? Press one, have y'all been keeping up with the promo run? Because honestly, when I looked at it, I was like, oh, I could tell, right? When I get depressed, I get right into a mental space where I withdraw. And you know, you get that way. You know, depression is definitely come. And I definitely feel for people. And I'm so glad. I was like, oh, because this weekend was rough. I haven't forgot they had another I forgot they had another movie. Yeah, they got another movie coming out. And that's the only reason why you see them two out together. But I am praying for Martin. Honestly, I am. I'm praying that God heal him in his body. I'm praying that he'll be honest and tell the truth. And I'm praying that doors open up for him, whatever he's going through. And a lot of times he's going through something. I personally don't think he needs to be going on tour on a comedy tour. I don't believe that at all. What is going? It could be financial because I'm looking at why this man on a. I think I called Pratt. I'm like, why is Martin on a comedy tour? He made a lot of money, but do he still got that money? Is the key. Because I'm like, who all's going to Martin too? And the last time somebody said Martin wasn't that funny. I do think he has mental health issues. I think he has a physical health issues. I believe he had a stroke, which can severely change a person. Yeah, but my thing is, he need to tell us. Could be financial stuff is done. Don't have money like that anymore. When I get depressed, I can't deal with other people problems. Like lately, I've been going through it, and it ain't got time to hear from okay. I understand. That's why I was like, Chad, let me get my tail up. And I got up today and I said, YouTube is my escape. And I got up on YouTube and I'm like, oh, child, here we go. Cause it's a lot of stresses when you doing this. You have your ups, you have your downs, you have your good days, you have your bad days, but you got to keep moving. You got to keep moving forward. And if you need a therapist, you need to go get it, baby. Go get it. Go get that help. Don't let nobody make you feel shame. Don't let nobody make you feel embarrassed because you got to go and sit on somebody's couch. You got to take a little pill here and there and all of that. Don't you dare let nobody make you feel bad because you got to do that for your mental health. Keep God first, and you do what you got to do. Don't let nobody make you feel shame. Like, oh, you embarrassed? Go no. Be embarrassed not getting the help. Be embarrassed not getting the help for people, especially if you're in a predicament in your life where you could afford the help. Okay? Nothing wrong with that. You got to take that. Okay? No, ain't nothing wrong with that. Because that depression is definitely real. It came creeping on my door this weekend. Did it? But I feel as though he did this out of a favor for Will. I don't think he wanted to do no more movies. But it's hard when you financially can't do. Then you got to go back on the road. That's sad. That is really, really sad, man. Mm-hmm. I think a lot of comedians deal with it because they deal with it in comedy. They tell jokes. Listen to most of the jokes that people make. Most of it is what they battle with, and they call it being funny. Okay? They call it being funny. I've suffered with depression. This has been the quickest one that I've suffered with because, like, depression is silent. Like, it's people think that depression is loud. Depression is very quiet. And before you know it, you in there. Bro, I'm depressed. I'm like, oh, like you'll get in there, and before you know it, you secluded in that room. You got all this trash in the room, and before you know it, you depressed. And I didn't know I was really until I got up, and I started throwing out the trash that I accumulated 2 days, and I said, "Oh my gosh, I was depressed." And I thank God that I was able to see that. I said, oh my gosh, I was depressed. And it was many different factors. I'm not going to get into the factors. I think, well, I get into one in my brain, like, oh, you want to relocate. And then it was something, it was just life. And you and your thoughts. You hear that voice. I'm like, oh, you got to back up out of that. And I had to. And I said, you know what? Let me go ahead on and do this show. This is like one of my last shows in Dallas. And I'm going to just go ahead and do it. And I thank God for friends I can communicate with and talk to and different ones. I don't have many. I have a few I can count on my hands because you ain't going to have that many friends like that. Many people think you're going to have thousands. That's a lot. You go through some hard times. You're going to see who really your real friends are. Okay, so I've learned that really, really early. I don't have many, but I have a solid friendship for that. But also, let's not forget that it's important to have these conversations. Because like me having these conversations, I'm people antidote or medication of laughter, entertainment, and different things like that. And that's why I'm kind of like, it's a lot on you because you bring so much joy to people. And then you look at like, who gonna bring joy to my life? You get like that. A lot of comedians or celebrities, they bring joy to a lot of people, and then they go home. Pastors feel this way. Some pastors feel this way too. Who's gonna bring joy? Who's gonna pour into me? Because you're pouring into everybody else. You see? So and you know, you get that thought like, who's gonna pour into me and pour into everybody else? So when you see that, and I'm like, oh, and I look at Martin. I was like, I don't want to be like that. I don't want to have to suffer in silence. Like, cause who can Martin tell? Because sometimes you can't tell everybody your darkest secret. They'll use that to trash you. You know, it's like that's the most painful part. Who you can't, even me as well, you can't tell everybody. I remember one time I had a mental health crisis, and a witch YouTuber, he used that and blasted me on the internet. So I was having a mental health crisis, and I rarely show people my mental health crisis. And this witch, supposed to be a friend of mine, used that moment to trash me. This is why people don't show you where they have a mental health crisis. This is why by the time you know about it, it's too late. They gone. It was a YouTuber. He was a very attractive YouTuber, did hair, interviewed all the gays, and he took his life. He also, before he took his life, he went on YouTube and he said, I've tried so many times to do it, I wasn't successful. I struggle with staying alive. That's what that YouTuber said. And then one day he did it. It was a success, and he was gone. And you couldn't tell, like, man, he had the body, he had the looks, he was a successful entrepreneur, had a successful channel, but in his mind, he was a piece of garbage. And I said, oh, I don't want to be like that. And that's why in my show, I said, I'm going to be more real in telling people my thoughts. And when he said that he left, and I cried, I was hurt. I felt like, I'm like, man, this is somebody that I looked up to. I mean, incredible talent, just gone before its time. And I think that for me, you do have those thoughts, but for me, I always tell people it's green on the other side. Temporarily, you may be going through it, and then when you pull back, it ain't really that bad, like how you think it's that bad. But if you get through it, doors will open up. But you gonna go through it. It's not easy. It's not easy, and I think people think that it is easy. It's not. When you're trying to be successful on whatever thing in your career or whatever your life, in order for that to work, you must succeed in your mental health. Because if your mental health and your demeanor is down, you ain't gonna be nothing you're gonna be able to touch gonna grow. Because your mind got to be right. That's a very important ingredient, your mental health. If that's gone, you can forget about the rest. What you think you're gonna try to do, it ain't gonna be successful. And that's why it's important to talk about that stuff. That's why it's important to have these conversations. You know, when I saw the depression came for me, and I was like, oh, wow. And it didn't make it no better because it was raining outside too over the weekend too. And I'm like, ugh. And it didn't hit me until I started throwing out the trash, and I said, and then some of the rain was trickling on my face. And then that's why I said, you know, God, thank you. I thank you because I'm still here and I'm still able to tell the story, because somebody is going through worse what I'm going through. And they need for me to tell them it's going to get better. Oh, it's going to get better. Oh, is it rough now? Your accounts is low and you can't hardly pay this bill or that bill, but God got you. You just got to keep moving forward. You got to pray. You got to get up. You got to go get some counseling. Go join a group, a friend group, or online forum, or whatever. You tell somebody that you need help. And then whoever you tell, I pray that they don't judge you, that they help you and not dog you out, because it does get better. Because I've went through it. You know, I had some even harder times. I'm like, And it's some good when you go back and you lean on that great advice. I'm like, okay, that's a trigger. Okay, let me get up. And that's why it's good to get back into, like, when I get back to Vegas, go back into the schedule that worked for me. In the gym, walking, listening to music, having a whole reset, and get your life have a reset. Like, my life gonna have a reset. You know what I'm saying? And it's very important. So when I saw this story about Martin, I immediately saw myself. I was like, oh my gosh, and that ain't nothing but God. I'm like, why in the world, out of all the first stories, I got to talk about some stuff that I'm even struggling with, and I'm okay to say it. I'm okay to say it. And it is okay to share that you are going through it. The problem is many people lie and say, ain't nothing wrong with me. I'm blessed and highly favored. No, you're not. You may, you know what I'm saying? Because many people say that as though ain't nothing going on, but things going on. There's nothing wrong with you telling the truth and say, hey, I need some help. And there's nothing wrong with that. There's nothing wrong with sharing that to the world, that you need help. Ain't nothing wrong with that. Amen. So when I saw the thing about Diddy in the chat, and I saw that going through with the whole thing with Cassie and all of that, you know, a lot of people are sick in the head. They do nasty, evil things. And I pray that, you know what I'm saying, that he get it together and go to prison, get some mental health care in prison. And I also praying, like, even for R. Kelly, my mind went back to R. Kelly too. And so I pray that he get mental health services in behind prison doors, because he was so sick in the head. And what did he do? He started being sick to others and destroying other people's lives. So I am praying for Martin. I am praying even for Will, because Will had a mental health crisis too. Anytime you get up and slapping somebody, something going on in your head. So I got to pray for him too. He need prayer. I think people think, you know, he's a good actor, but he gonna make a lot of money talking about the slap heard around the world. He got a book already written. He got a ghostwriter, or the book is already done. You know, it's gonna be a very thick book. Him talking about his marital issues, Chris Rock, how his dad used to whoop his mama. I already know how the ghostwriter gonna have it written up, and he gonna get all type of money, because he may flop on the big screen, but he damn sure gonna be a New York Times bestseller, because they're gonna rush to buy that book. And the book is already done. I mean, if you know anything about these celebrities, they have the best ghostwriters ever. Many books that we have been reading have not been written by that celebrity. It's been written by a ghostwriter. And there's ghostwriters out there. I'm gonna be the one that buy it. And I'm like, I listened to Jada Pinkett Smith book. I was in Kroger's. I was in Kroger's listening to her book, and the book was good. I was in Kroger's and I listened to Jada's book and Will's book. And I understood Jada's Baltimore roots. She was ghetto, ratchet, a game banger. So it's hard. And Will was the breadwinner. And what? See, look, I'm about to take up for Jada. And Jada might get wet hearing this. He took her in and bought her everything and took her existence away. She lost herself as Jada. She lost herself. And so I don't think people understood she lost herself as a woman, because Will had all the money and it stopped her career, stopped her. She was being a mom. It, like, her whole life stopped. And women that particularly are mothers that work in the home will understand what Jada went through. Now, if you a type of mama that had to work, never had no Will, you ain't gonna understand. You gonna say Jada's ungrateful and blah, 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 blah. But for women that married successful men understand what Jada went through. I think what Jada went through, she lost herself by marrying Will. And Will was very dominant. Even he had some problems with his daughter because he tried to force the daughter into music before her time. You know, he wanted the son to do this. Like he wanted this whole Smith dynamic, because when you get that type of power and influence, you bring that home. Yeah, you bring it home. So definitely get into that. You have to keep yourself identity. I understand that completely, because she lost her identity. At one point, I was working from home and my daughter was online school. It was too much. Like, you lose yourself. And a lot of mothers do lose themselves. That's when they have children. And they single mothers. They lose themselves. They don't know how to go out. A lot of them don't go. They stop getting their hair done, stop getting their nails done. They stop being them. You know, it's all about the children, the children, the children. It was a great episode on Good Times, and this was back in the 70s. And when Florida was like, well, my children, but this and this, I need something for me. Baby, you act like what like, and he didn't understand about what she was going through. Because Florida Evans was like, was saying, like, I'm getting lost. And like, I believe she battled with some type of depression in that episode. And I'm like, dang, they was having this conversation in the 70s. And you can really have that conversation in 2024. It's still women that is going through their mental health and going through it because of having children. A lot of mothers didn't want to do that. They do it because of tradition. They do it because I got to do this. I didn't want to abort my children. You know what I'm saying? That's just how it goes. Okay. And that's what I believe about Jada. But I love Jada. I know a lot of people, she get a bad rep, but we love Jada over here. Okay. We love Jada. I'm a huge thing of Jada, but a lot of his marital problems did spill out on Will. I think that Will is not the victim only. I believe that he tried to, he ain't gonna be trying to be a psychiatrist. I don't think Will is just a victim. I believe both of them are victims. I believe that, and maybe one day they'll get divorced, but I think they're trying to keep something together. For what reason? I don't know. They said Jada is a liar. They said, I'm sorry, I know that for a fact. What do you mean she's a liar? Okay, you said she's a liar? Wait a minute. Why she's a liar? Do you want to call in Queen B more? I want to know, why is Jada a liar? Because she said she was a gang member and she said she was a drug dealer. And then she said she had to run from the cops. Wait, why is she a liar? And you from Baltimore. Why is she a liar? Because you had the first to say it when I was reading her book. Well, listening to it on Audible, they said she was a liar. Why is she a liar? They said Jada did a best reunion show for yes, she did. It's okay. Okay. I'm just want to know. Okay, I understand. All right. Give me okay. I got the phone lines open just in case. Do not buy her Walt is me down the trenches store. Well, that's what she said. Well, I don't know, Queen Boomar. If you know more about her life, you can call in and let me know. But she did say that she grew up hard. Okay. Let's put the phone lines on here. Thank you, $4.99. Thank you so very much. And y'all donate too, because we're going to Vegas tomorrow. Help us. Yes, we're going to Vegas tomorrow. We need your contributions. Come on now. Praise him. Thank you. All right. I just want to know if you want to call in and give your thoughts. Let me know. They said them people feel filthy rich, even if her congrats on the move. Thank you. They said even if her mom was a nurse, that doesn't mean that Jada home life wasn't affected by her mom's drug use. Oh, all right. I thought she knew better, but obviously not. I'm just asking y'all to call in and we get the thoughts about it, because somebody is trying to drag Jada. They said tomorrow. Yes, definitely. And I'll let you all know. Y'all said, well, we're gonna raise money for, and I thank those that did. And we'll see y'all in Vegas tomorrow. But we ain't gonna be on no strip going no gambling. Them days, I'm not gonna say them days are over. But it's work mode, okay? It's work mode. But I will document. I'm gonna go live and show up. I am nervous, like, oh my gosh, I'm like super nervous, but excited because I'm excited. Hey, you live on the Wiley Show. Hello, can you hear me? Hello?
Hello?
Hey, you there?
Yeah, can you hear me?
I can hear you, yes.
Look, I'm so glad they got rid of that lopsided, cheap-ass red table that Jada sat at with her family, telling all of her and Will's secrets. That man was sleeping with the enemy for years, and he didn't even know it. Actually, I think he did know it. He just ignored it.
My thing is, the reason why I like Red Table Talk is, number one, you got 3 different generations perspective. You got the grandma, you got Grams, you got Willow, you got Jada. Why is it an issue when she can't share her bedroom business, but Will was spilling some tea in his book? I don't see a reason why she can't give her reason about her upbringing.
Okay, this is a woman who got her husband to sit across from her in front of the world, in front of millions of people. And she told him that she slept with another man inside the home that he paid for.
Oh.
And
One second, Queen Be More, I'm gonna bring you on. Go ahead, there, sir.
She sat in front of this man. And told him that she slept with another man in the home that he paid for. And laughed about it. And this man had tears in his eyes. And so after that, Will Smith became the laughing stock, the punchline.
Okay.
And so on the most important night of his life, the Oscars, he gets up there and he can't take a joke from Chris Rock.
Oh my gosh.
That had nothing to do with Chris Rock. That was just the night that he chose to unleash it all.
Okay.
And that was on the most important night of his life. And let me tell you something. I saw the clips during the commercial break. And she didn't even run to her husband and say, baby, what are you doing? During the commercial break, it was Bradley Cooper and Denzel Washington and Tyler Perry that ran over to Will Smith because they were genuinely concerned about him. His wife remained seated.
Okay.
And did not get up out of her seat to check on this man. Then you get on Red Table Talk.
Well, what she said to not defend her, but to defend her, she put in a book, she thought it was a joke. She thought it was a script. She thought it was a part of the Oscars, like, okay, and then she kind of froze.
She said that when he came back to his seat and yelled, she knew it was real.
She froze, but hey, you gotta understand, the world is watching. I think she froze. I think, and she talked about it in her book and stuff like that. But I am gonna pray for her. I know you're not a Jada fan at all. Not a Jada fan at all. Queen B More is backstage too, and she's actually from Baltimore. And she's gonna give her reasoning about Jada. But thank you so very much, sir, for calling in. All right, Queen B More, you are here. How are you doing?
I'm good. How are you today, Wiley?
Blessed. I feel better. Blessed because I got up today and I felt the raindrops, and it felt good. But you came out throwing out some shots at Jada and said that she's a liar. She didn't grow up that poor. They said, do not buy her woe me down. You came
her woe is me downtrodden story.
Her woe is me downtrodden story. You didn't. So did you grow up with Jada?
I did. Jada is about 4 years older than I am, though, but our mothers grew up together. Our grandfathers were both black doctors in Baltimore, and that community was very small back in those days. So we were always like thrust in the same places together. And I mean, honestly, I'll tell the truth. I did look up to Jada at one point because she did everything I wanted to do when we were young. Like, she was that person that did whatever she wanted. Nothing stopped her. Nothing, and we, like, her mother supported her in anything she wanted to do. So she was like always in the acting competitions and the modeling competitions and things like that. But Jada grew up very nicely. The house that they showed when she came back to Baltimore and stuff like that, um, that was like one house that they grew up in, but that's not really the community that she grew up in. Like, that was a community like over from where she actually grew up in. She grew up in her grandparents' house. Her grandfather was a doctor. Um, Granted, he was a little weird. They never had a whole lot of money, but you know,
We say
still,
when you say he was weird, what did that mean?
he was kind of eccentric. He was just an eccentric type of guy. That's
Oh,
all. Yeah, he was. They never had a whole lot of money. Like, don't get me wrong. Like, they were like balling out of control or anything like that. But like, he wasn't one of the more wealthy doctors in the area. But still, it wasn't all that she's trying to make it out to be. And as far as a gangbanger, okay, so there was a guy. And funny thing is, she dated this guy named Piccolo. Okay, so she calls Tupac Piccolo on a different world, right? And Piccolo is a guy from Baltimore, and he was a drug dealer for a long time. And I was good friends with his cousin, Puda, and so, well, that's his nickname. His real name's Tommy. So one time, Tommy called me on the phone, and he's like, "Hold on," and he clicks over, calls someone on three-way. When he clicks back over, he connects a female. I hear a female voice, and she's like, "Yeah, yeah, where you at?" And he says whatever. She's like, "Yeah, because I got some moves to make today. I got some moves to make." Just trying to make herself sound more dramatic than she actually. I think Jada might have sold a little weed. That's about it. I honestly don't think that she was this gangbanger. Was she around guys who sold a lot of drugs? Yeah. Yeah, but that's part of growing up in Baltimore. But her being the one that sell a bunch of drugs, no, I don't think so. I didn't see that. I never saw that. I remember like being in a carpool coming home one day, and um like the other kids in the carpool. I mean, we were like, I was like 12, so they must have been about 16. Jada must have been about 16 at the time, and they were like, "Yeah, she's gone off the weed." Okay, she's gone off the weed. Not like she was sniffing coke or shooting dope or anything like that, but like, just this lifestyle that she tries to portray is like, girl, stop with the dramatics. Enough of it. And her mom, I can also remember like one time when her mom, like, I was somewhere with my mom, and they were like, yeah, because my mother's name is Adrian also. Her mother's name is Adrian, my mother's name is Adrian. And they were like, yeah, Adrian is doing bad. They were like, she had Jada sitting outside of the meth clinic while she went into cop. Now that's not good, whatsoever, to have your daughter outside of a meth clinic while you're going in the cop methadone. You know what I mean? But as far as, but she, like, she was a heroin addict. She liked drugs. She came out of that party scene, but that was because Adrian wanted to be in that party scene. That was part of the scene that she wanted to be in. She didn't grow up in that scene. She kind of went over to the other side of the tracks, and put her, from what my mother tells me, like, Adrian always wanted to be on the other side of the tracks hanging with everybody else. And she hooked up with A guy. Now I'll tell you some tea. You want some tea, Wiley?
Yes, give me the tea. I'm thirsty.
Child. So like Jada's last name is Jada Pinkett, right?
Yes, ma'am.
Well, like when I was young, growing up, there's this guy, two brothers, Noonie and Cornell Johnson, and so I think Noonie kind of had a habit growing up, but Cornell, he was he was like a good father. I would always see him taking his kids up and down the street, but he never was like affluent or anything. But they grew up kind of in our neighborhood, adjacent to our neighborhood. But I would see him walking up and down the street. My mother would speak to him all the time, and my mother would always say that's Jada's real father, and that Robbie Pinkett, who is her father, is not her biological father. And so it's so funny because one time we were at a party. And I was like, so I asked her, I was like, "Hey, how's your dad?" And she was like, "Who? Rob Soul." They call him Rob Soul. She was like, "Who? Rob Soul?" And it was a weird, like, why would you say who? Like, if that's your dad.
Because she talked about her dad had an illness and she took
Hmm.
care. So that person that she put about
Right,
in the
he
book
passed away.
is not her father. It was
I
somebody
didn't,
else.
I do not believe that Robbie Pinkett is her biological father. Her biological aunt that who I believe is her biological aunt is this woman named Cassandra, right? She was like supposed to be like the first Playboy black Playboy bunny. Da, da, da. She can dance really well, and matter of fact, her son is by like Harold Melvin or somebody like she has a son by like Harold Melvin, and so she's a dancer. What does Jada do best? Jada
Dance.
dances better than act, baby. Baby, Jada will dance you down, okay? Like that ain't no joke. Like I could dance a little bit, and I remember like at that party they had a dance contest. They announced her name for the dance contest. I said, "Oh no, I'ma wait.
So
I'm gonna
you
step
grew
right
up
on over
with
there."
Jada and all of this. You're
Hmm.
saying that she wasn't his top drug dealer, but you didn't sleep with
No,
any of the type of dudes that she slept with, or did y'all did sleep with the same type of people?
no, I'm younger than she was. So even though I was friends with the older people, like I wasn't sleeping with anybody at that time. And the guy, the two cousins, I never slept with that guy ever. So no.
Okay.
But we were friends for years. I wonder where Puda is, by the way. But
Because EA is saying, but you're making a lot of assumptions. Well,
no.
no,
Like what?
because you're actually was raised well in the same area and all of that.
Right.
'Cause a lot of people don't understand, like during that era, you knew her before she was famous.
Right.
Because again, you said that you grew up at a. Why do you think that she is painting this picture? So again, so did she grow up so bad that her mom was a crack and all of that? Was that true?
Her
Did that
mother, okay, no, her mother was not a crackhead. Like the depiction of a crackhead that you see walking up and down the street searching for drugs, panhandling for drugs and things like
so
that.
that
No.
wasn't her mom?
No, her mother was a full-time working nurse the entire time that she got high.
Okay, so it wasn't like she was like losing that.
No, hell no, hell no.
Okay, she wasn't
Mm-mm.
like that. Okay, she wasn't like
Mm-mm.
Little Nas X mama,
No,
looking dirty,
no.
filthy, acting to get
By no
okay,
means. By no
okay, not
means
like
was she
Bye
out that mug.
Felicia. Can I borrow
Right,
yo,
no. And I
yo?
feel like that's how she's trying to make her mother
Okay,
seem. And her
okay,
mother, I never saw, every time I saw Adrian, she looked good. Like, she got married when I was about like 7
okay.
to someone. And it was at this club. And that was the first time I remember seeing Jada. I will say that. And that's why I was telling people about her hair.
And
That's a
saying
whole
ain't
separate thing.
so. It's saying sounds like she knew
No, I
of
know
her.
her. Okay, so, all right. Well, whatever. I ain't got nothing to
But that's
prove.
but you know the people on the internet, they wasn't
Yeah,
from Baltimore, so they don't
right.
understand how close knit that
Right.
community was when y'all were coming up.
Exactly.
Just like I knew about Flame Monroe, that her baby was pissing and she flopped as a comedian, and she's still trashing me on the internet. But you don't know Flame before she went to California. If somebody said they from Chicago and we was around at same time. Our people knew her people when she was quote unquote transitioning. You
Right.
don't know. So I think a lot of people think, oh, you don't know Jada. You may not know her now because she's in California, but you know
Right.
of her because of y'all grew up together
Right. We grew, and
in
that's what I
Baltimore.
said,
Y'all
right?
moms were. Did you say y'all moms were friends?
Right.
Like, okay, okay.
Yeah. Our mom, like our grandparents were friends. Our moms grew up together. And then so, like I said, I think I said we were thrust into no, we weren't actually like hung out together friends. Nope, I'm not saying that. Jada is, I said, 4 years, I believe about 4 years older than me. So, and she hung with older people. So that's the thing. So I hung with a lot of people that were her age, that went to school with her and things like that. So, like, we were always around each other, is what I'm saying. Did I feel like I knew her mother a little bit better than I knew her, actually, because I was around her mother more.
So did you all ever
But
been in the same room together where y'all talk and say
yeah.
hey to each other? Okay.
Yeah, like I said, like my first introduction to Jada was at her mother's wedding. It was a very small, intimate wedding at this social club that they had in Baltimore called the Mediso Club. Like it was like a club for doctors or whatever, black doctors. And that was the first time I can remember being around Jada, meeting her, and we were like playing at the wedding together, or whatever. But then, like over time, like over the years, we were always around each other.
Yeah, I don't
You
know.
know.
The people in the chat, they say I can tell you're telling the truth. You name actual names and nicknames, and the story flows without issues. I believe you.
Thank
And
you.
why do you think that someone saying right here she must want to get sued? Why do you think people think that you want to get sued? Because you didn't say nothing defamatory. You just said
Right.
that she did not grow up as rough as she claimed. I remember Oprah Winfrey, her cousin addressed Oprah and said, Oprah, why are you telling people you grew up dirt poor in Mississippi? It's because this is what Americans gravitate to. Like you do
Right.
have people that before they get famous, they juice it up.
Right.
Like Tupac talked about how he was in the streets and he was just this guy, and that wasn't the truth. He wasn't no gang member.
Right.
But that was a persona. Do you think that Jada pull that same thing that Pac did to shoot
Yes.
like she was from the streets? Now you could tell that she was
Yes.
rough around the edges because she grew up
Right.
in Baltimore. No offense, but Baltimore was low budget, was rough around the edges. It was the hood.
But all of Baltimore is not the hood,
Excuse me?
Wiley. All of Baltimore is not
All
the
of Baltimore
hood,
is not, but
Wiley.
the part that y'all was in was semi the hood. It
That's
was
what I'm
rough.
trying to tell
It was
you.
drug
It wasn't.
pushers,
It
drug
wasn't.
pushers. So
That's
wait a
what I'm
minute.
trying to
So
tell you.
it
It
was not the
wasn't.
hood. It was middle class.
No,
Okay.
no. It was a middle class neighborhood that
Okay,
we
so it
grew up
wasn't the
in.
hood. So what happened to Baltimore now? Why it's so filthy and dirty and low
Wiley, if you don't
down
stop.
gutter,
All
leaky
right, Trump.
pipes?
All right,
It,
Trump.
and I'm just
You,
asking. I'm just asking because when I went to Baltimore,
when'd you come? And
I
where'd
went.
you go to Baltimore?
I went when Brandy performed at the African Festival. It's been a little while. I guess y'all call it something else, but I call it the African Fest. But I went there
Afram.
filthy and dirty and filth.
I mean, if you're like at a festival, of course, it's
But no,
people
no,
are gonna
no.
throw trash.
We went to a CVS parking lot, and it was so much trash on the ground. But again, you're saying how you was raised.
Right.
It was more so middle class.
Right.
Those areas now in Baltimore, some of them is just run down because you gotta understand. I understand why the doctors had no choice but to live with black folk because they couldn't go to other areas due to racism, due to red line,
Racism.
et
Right.
cetera, et cetera. But so you never was in the bed with Jada. You
No, I'm never in the bed with her. No, no.
do you
But
think
I
that she
mean,
like?
like her
You
girlfriend
think she like
Fawn.
carpet munching, women
Oh, for
eating women?
sure. For
Oh,
sure.
okay, okay.
Yeah, for sure. Um, but no, that wasn't my thing. But she no, like we grew up in a middle class. Okay, the area that we grew up in, the mayor, both black mayors live up the street. Put it that way.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow. So y'all was all connected to it. If you have to say something to Jada, because I will send this to Jada.
Okay.
What do you want to say to her now as a woman? Are you surprised how she mother her children? Do you want to? to me, you pretty much called her a liar.
Yeah.
Um, you
I
you
want her to stop with the narrative that she grew up so poor and pitiful. Like, girl, you didn't.
wait, so she did not grow up that poor. Okay, okay.
No, not at all. Not at all. Like, I mean, she had a little job. I remember she worked down at the harbor at the cotton candy place. And come on now, like, you worked at the cotton candy place, girl. Something good. Yep,
Okay, so
something
she
good.
didn't grow up like poor because she talked about how she got in this car, it was stolen. Like she hung, she said she pushed drugs. Um, she was a drug dealer.
I think she was drug adjacent, maybe. And I think, like, okay, maybe,
So
helping.
a couple of people has posted in the chat saying her Porsche, her own definition. You did live in her home, so of
True.
course they're trying to come at you and
That's
drag you.
fine. That's fine. I mean, like, I don't have anything to prove, you know
Okay,
what I'm
because like, I
saying?
don't know
But
what they just jumping out of the bushes coming in on it. Someone said I got an MLK story to tell, and someone said she wants to make it seem like she came from piss poor condition with a drug addiction, mama, and no food in the refrigerator.
right.
Because her
That's
mama,
how I feel.
because her mama looks good. Like what
Right.
drugs that
Does
her
that
mama?
look right? Does that look like someone who was a crackhead walking up and down? Come on now. Mama look better than her.
Mama does look better than her. Oh yes, mama looks good.
Yeah. So come on now. Drugs ravage your body. Does that
So
look like
what
a
about?
drug ravaged body to you?
Hmm. So when do any of her family still live in Baltimore? Any of her immediate family?
Yeah. Yeah. I went to school with her cousin, Jason Timmel. His mom died though. Her aunt Karen and my stepdad are real good friends. Karen Banfield. She's still in Baltimore. Um, Her grandparents, of course, are dead, but and her, unfortunately, yeah, it's just her one aunt that I know of specifically
So a
the
lot of people
family.
is saying in the chat they're saying you're jealous of Jada because you couldn't make it as an actress. You couldn't sleep with a
Well,
Will Smith.
let me tell you, I
She
have
could
no
barely respect
desire
you.
to want Jada's life.
Okay.
No desire.
Okay,
I
because like they're
thank
they're they're
God.
just throwing shade all in the
Right.
chat.
I get it. I get it.
Yeah,
But
they
I
throwing
thank God
shade.
I don't have Jada's life, honestly.
Okay, because they're,
Because if
they're
I had to go through, she's like the most hated woman in Hollywood at one point. Like, why would I
yeah.
want that?
Yeah, they're literally throwing shade in the chat saying that she wished that she could have Jada ball
Okay.
fade and Jada more.
Right. I was, yeah. Hey, I mean, they don't know me, and you know what I'm saying. I've lived a great life, so I don't have nothing to be, you know.
They're saying all that. But when
Hey,
you
I
do
love it.
look
I
at
get it.
Jada, have you ever tried? I'm gonna ask you this question. Have you ever tried to reach out to her now and be like, hey sis, let's go out for some coffee?
Hell no, no. Like, why would I play myself like no? The
Oh.
last person, one of our friends told me
Mhm.
that he saw her out in LA, and when she first moved out there for years, she would still be cool. They see each other. Hey, what's up, D? Da, 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 da. And then, like, the last time he said he saw her, she like tried to play him. And then, like, her and her friend Fawn were like super close. And then I don't know what happened to Fawn. So she act like that towards people. Why would I even know?
Like even people that she was like really, really close with.
Right.
Um, did you read her book?
Mm-mm.
Okay.
I heard enough about it. Like, she was on TV talking about it.
Yeah. You there,
I
ma'am?
really don't have a lot of time to read these days, to be honest. To do a lot of reading,
Uh-huh.
but I felt like it was like so much in the media that why did I have to? They talked about it all the time.
Mhm. And I'm glad that you let me know about Jada and different things of that nature. You guys, this is a real person. She was on camera and she did not want to come back on camera. She's a beautiful sister. Queen
I'm
B.
sorry. I'm just like out, and like around my family, and like
Yeah,
I
she's
didn't want
around
them to be
family.
in the background and
She's
stuff
a
like that.
very beautiful sister. You have been, well,
Thank
how long
you.
you been watching the Wiley Show?
It's been a couple months.
Been a
It
couple of
hasn't been a
months.
long time. Like I would like faithfully. Yeah, a couple months. It's
A
only
couple of
been like a
months she had been
couple.
watching the show, and my heart rejoices because she called in to give us some real tea of Jada Pinkett Smith. And Sad Ain't So is in the chat, and she said this is a third party.
It's all good. Listen, I'm not mad at it. I'm not mad at it. Like everybody's gonna have, especially like her fans. I expect her fans. I expect her fans to feel that way.
Oh, they said this was this was some unexpected tea. Wow. Lady Dimple said this wasn't tea. They said you don't have time to read, but you have time to gossip.
I sure do, because that's what I feel like doing. I don't feel like
Wait a
reading
minute.
Jada's sensationalized book, baby, but I sure do.
Why are they coming for you? You was just giving your
All
read.
right, hey, listen, you listen.
What?
Some people just like to hate, or some people just mad. Some people wake up mad. Who knows? I don't know.
Why they over here dragging you there while
People
laughing?
wake up mad.
Oh,
Some people.
I'm laughing because y'all said this woman came from, and you still live in Baltimore, correct?
I do. Yep.
And she giving us some Baltimore, Maryland tea. And y'all ain't believing her. I believe her. I believe what you said was the truth. That
Thank you.
she just, literally put some stank on her story, added it to make it be more for people to digest it. But do you believe she's a good wife to Will? Do you think that Will is the victim and she is the predator? What do you think about all of that?
Now I don't know about all that. I can't really. Now I mean now this would definitely be my opinion. I think that she puts him out there a lot. She embarrasses him a lot.
Mm-hmm.
That
Lady
okay,
Dimples is
whatever.
saying you need to read a book, period. Nobody mad, but this sounds false. Nah.
Okay,
Show
why
a
do I need to read a book?
childhood picture.
Show a childhood picture of
That's
Jada?
that's that's what they say. I
So
don't
we ain't had camera phones and stuff. I don't know what you think we are, but we ain't had camera phones and be walking around with cameras all the time when we were young. I hate to tell
because at
you.
that time you grew up in the 70s and 80s, like 70s,
Eight,
80s,
no, not well, yeah, 80s,
like
90s, yeah,
80s, 90s,
yeah,
and they didn't phones wasn't as prevalent like it is
exactly.
now.
Cell phones didn't even come out until what,
Right.
late 80s, early 90s, and
Okay.
they were huge. They were those big things that people carried in a
Okay.
bag.
Okay.
Right.
So we do got another sister here, and she said, they said, what
What
was
was it?
that? What was the stale tea? So I also said Wiley always throw a twist to shake people up, laugh about a oh
A Polaroid. Ah, that's funny. That's funny.
what? Wait a minute. Y'all gotta stop this. She came and showed us some tea, and I believe it.
Right.
50,
I can only tell my truth. Look, I ain't
right.
gotta listen.
They
I
said
like I said,
55
do
year
I
old running around.
55-year-old. Well, I'm not quite 55, dear, but yes, no, we weren't running around. We weren't definitely weren't running around with cameras as teens, and especially Polaroids. Ain't nobody running around a big ass Polaroid camera. Now go ahead with that mess. Anyway,
Wait. I really believe it. And so
no, they weren't sold everywhere though. God, my God. Okay. Anyway, Lord have
well,
mercy.
I thank you because what you did on this show, you picked up my spirit. You gave me so much tea, and I know I'm gonna send it to the blogs. And I know the neighborhood talk and is watching, and we're gonna send it over to them, and hopefully they post about it on the shade room. But you definitely gave us the tea in this episode today. I thank you so very
Okay.
much.
No problem. All
For
right. Well, I'm gonna
for
get
that
on
type of
out
way.
of here.
I wonder why you never got made love to your mayor of Baltimore, because he's a very attractive man.
Oh, Brandon, that
Yeah, yeah, Brandon. Why you never made
my
love
bad,
to him?
Wiley. Go
Why,
on, go on with that, Wiley.
why not? I'm
First
asking.
of all, I'm a married woman. I've been
Okay,
married. I've been married for a long time, and he's a little young for Brandon Scott is like 35.
okay. What that mean?
Yeah.
The younger the berry, the
N-
sweeter the juice.
No, I'm good. I'm good. Yeah, I'm
You
good.
ain't never
But
thought about giving him none.
no, I didn't.
Okay.
Never crossed my mind.
You
Thank you,
never
though.
did you grow up around the mayor, a family, or do you know anything about
No,
him?
no. Like I know, like the former mayor. Like I have a friend who was a former mayor, but not him. Mm-mm,
Okay. Okay.
no.
Well, y'all give her a round of applause. She did
Yes,
come
thank you.
on.
I appreciate it. It was
I'm glad
great.
you came on. You gave us the tea.
Aw.
I,
Wow.
I,
I think I admit, I get a little triggered by her trying to act like she grew up so poor and
I
pitiful.
get you. I get you. I get you. I
Yeah.
love it that you came and you gave us the tea. How is the bridge in Baltimore? Is it getting rebuilt?
We're working on it. We
Okay.
working on it. We working on it. It's going to take years. They said 2028,
Okay.
2029. I think it'll be rebuilt. So stay tuned. All right.
Thank you so very much,
Thank
Queen
you for
B More,
having
for coming
me.
on the
Thank you for having
show.
me. All right. I'm going to drop down. See y'all
All right.
later.
All right. I love having the callers call in because they always got something to say. Jada, your friend exposed you. Okay. Your friend exposed you. Wow. Anybody else got something to say? I was not expecting that, baby. You picked up my spirit. That was an old school Wiley type of episode, getting somebody to call in and give tea and to get the audience reaction of it. But she called in, she gave us some tea, and we thank her for what she did, and what she did was just amazing. Calling in, giving us some tea. This is what I called amazing, 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 and we got to give her you know what I'm saying, the support that we need. And I love the fact that many people from this social media have called in and got us together. And we love the fact that you all had called in and got us together. Wow, this was amazing, amazing, amazing. Let me see what y'all say in the chat here. Queen Boy, we really in the chat, so we call. So call and we'll call share. Yeah, you gotta really be, because they even troll me. I even get trolled, in my comments and stuff like that. But this was really good. Did y'all enjoy this new topic? Shout out to y'all for y'all coming in, showing the love that y'all showing. Thank you all for y'all amazing support. This have been an amazing, amazing, amazing. You guys, I got something else to say about Pastor Jamal Bryan. I want to bring him on the docket here. If you all did not know, he have introduced his new wife, or his fiance, to the public here. Give me a quick second here while we bring it up. His new fiance have been introduced to New Birth Church on last night or yesterday during the service there. A man that he introduced his new wife to the world. Many people know she is the pastor of one of the pastors of New Birth, Miss Turner, and they are saying that she looks like his first wife, Giselle. And a lot of people is saying that it's a matter of time before he cheats on her and all of that. Me personally, I'm glad that Pastor um is faithful in a sense of he's got a new wife, right? But my heart gonna ache because women gonna wanna destroy his first wife by sleeping with Pastor Jamal Bryan. Let me break this down. When you announce that you are a pastor, you a hoe, and you got children you don't take care of, you ain't gonna change. And the sad part about it is I've heard from my sources that the board kind of forced him to get married because he was already, a scandal was about to come and he had to go and get a wife because it's not a good look to have a single pastor when, you know what I'm saying? But he ain't gonna be faithful because women gonna throw themselves at you. I mean, don't get me wrong, gonna throw themselves at because Tasha put it out there that they was getting ice cream and she was running when she got the whole BBL. My point is this: if he's gonna be faithful, great. But if you know anything about Pastor Bryant, he ain't gonna be faithful. He's a cheater, and he have children he don't take care of, and we know this. And he ain't gonna be faithful. Also, my other point is this: I personally don't believe it's gonna work because his first wife is still breathing. I don't think it's gonna work. That's just my prediction. And when I tell you it's not gonna work, it's not gonna work. And I'm saying that for myself. So when I saw the announcement, I didn't rejoice. I kind of wept, and a tear fell down my face because that woman, she gonna be hurt, and he have already cheated on her. Anytime that you don't take care of your children, you are a cheater. Because that's your first step of being a good man, is providing for your offspring. And if he couldn't provide for his offspring, we know that he's a cheater. Come on now, say it with me. Thank you for those that are donating. A cheater. And many people was excited. I was excited for the point of, oh, okay, he has announced today he's getting married. But no, clearly you should just make it work with your first wife. But she got tired of him cheating. I don't think people understood how nasty that breakup was in Baltimore, Maryland. Everybody knew that Pastor Jamal Bryan was a cheater. Everybody knew it. That lived in Baltimore. And he put on this facade that he's a perfect man. He's not. And you got to be faithful. That is the clear instructions in the word of God that you cannot commit adultery. You cannot commit fornication. Do you understand what I'm saying? That's a clearness in the book. In the book. That's clear. Do you hear what I'm saying? And yeah, Queen Be More, come back on, sis. Come back on. Because that's in the book. Because in Exodus, the 20th chapter, the 14th verse said, you shall not commit adultery. Come on now. That's in the book. But when he pulled out that peen and ejaculate that seed and creating them bastard, because in the book, when you ain't marrying a child, see, they call them bastards. That's in the Bible. They call them bastards. So when I'm telling you right in there, they literally call children that's born and you ain't married, they call them bastards. That's in the book. I felt that right then and there. So for anybody that lived in Baltimore, heard these rumors about Pastor Jamal Bryan. Jamal First Church in Baltimore, he slept with 70% now in ATL. Said he lost his he picked up where he left off in Baltimore ATL. Asked tweet how he treated her, because he did date it. Tweet, you remember that? And that didn't work. It's hard being a pastor, and you could be butt ugly, but you represent power. And women is attracted to men, especially if you can speak and speak in tongue and all of that. Women is attracted to that. Say amen, ouch. Women is attracted to that. Say amen, ouch. Yeah, he dated her. Tweet the R&B singer. Absolutely. Yes. So I want to say that verbatim. Now, they are together. Pastor Jamal Bryan. Fans are convinced that Pastor and Bryan's first wife look so similar they could pass for sisters. Churchford were buzzing about the proposal after Larry Live shared a video capturing the proposal against the backdrop of a sun-kissed beach at a restaurant called is in the Cancun. While the video shared on May 25th is blurry, viewers can see waiters coming over to his table with sparkling as the pastor get on his knee to propose. He then stands up and hug Turner as bystander or her saying, "That's him. I can see his face." Another verse say, "I thought he was already remarried," but what sounds like a male verse replied, "No, he's divorced." The exact time in a romantic milestone remains a mystery. YBF posted Larry video on their Instagram profile, and fans reacted, noting how much she looked like Giselle, his first wife, star Real Housewives of Potomac, with whom he shared his 3 daughters. She and Giselle are twins. Giselle even chimed in, writing, "Congratulations, very happy for you." To which the mega pastor replied, "Means the world to me. Thank you." However, some comments mention how he allegedly was unfaithful to Giselle during their union. "He was my pastor when we both were in Baltimore, and when he was cheating on Giselle left and right, I would say that he knows the Bible." One person who once called Bryant pastor wrote, "He knows the word, he can preach, but when it comes to keeping the P word out of women, he is strictly for the streets. He is not a virtuous man of God when it comes to women and sex." Bryant and Giselle were married from 2002 to 2009. However, the alleged infidelity was at the center of her storyline for several seasons of The Real Housewives of Potomac. Gossip has been swirling around the alleged romance by bloggers and YouTubers like Tasha K. However, neither party up until now has officially confirmed their relationship status. According to Tasha K, she saw the two out getting ice cream, claiming they left when they saw her. This tipped her off, leading her to discover that Turner was his co-pastor. Bryan did not seem to let the gossip stop him from pursuing his relationship with the beauty, doing the Sunday service at New Birth Missionary Baptist Church, a suburban Atlanta. He made the grand announcement, sending shockwaves through the congregation with the news. Okay, he said, "I'm grateful to God that she was consummated to be my wife." He said before introducing his beloved, "Would you help me thank God for Dr. Turner?" As he brought her on stage before the congregation, she revealed that he wanted to marry Turner not just because she was beautiful, but because she's brilliant and she's anointed, makes him a better man. Okay. We gonna see how that's gonna turn out, Blair. We gonna see. I'm gonna mind my business. That's what's going on. That's what's going on. Okay, that's what's going on. I'm just keeping it real. All right. Make sure y'all share this live, thumbs up. And I want to get y'all comments. Not they love when they saw Tasha K. That's something else. And also, if y'all do not know, it's something else going on in the church stuff. They're saying that Rickey Smiley got a baby mama. I think a baby mama. I believe so. And this one was on Tasha K Live app. And so I went over there and I watched maybe 2 minutes of it. First of all, I didn't believe it. This woman is an old body, but she sounds like she young. And I'm like, ugh. Rickey Smiley, you want her? Is that who you screwing? I thought he was one of the girls. So when I saw it, I was immediately disgusted. I'm like, really? Like, you ain't got no better type? This old wrinkled queen? Like, that's who you want? And so I saw it. I'm like, is that who he putting up on there? Like, really? And the interview, you can kind of like tell Tasha just did this interview just to do some, I guess, to get people to get her app. But it wasn't believable at all. Wasn't no fact checking at all. But that's what she do. And it's nothing you can say. I never thought that he was gay. But if everyone else thinks that, oh, yes, I see that. Did y'all see that? How did y'all think about it? I didn't necessarily agree with it because I'm like, I don't believe it. I don't believe it at all. And I'm not trying to be, thank you, Anna. I'm not trying to be shady, but I didn't believe it at all. I'm just being honest. Now, make sure y'all call in if anybody want to call in and give their thoughts. 972-674-9462. But I am praying because I looked at it, I'm like, ain't no way in the world I'm gonna be into what they talking about. Because look, when I looked at that lady picture and I looked at her demeanor, I said, I don't believe it. I know a lot of people may believe it or not believe it, but I looked at her demeanor and I'm like, I don't necessarily believe that she is the baby mama of Rickey Smiley. But everybody, shout out to y'all. Thank you so very much. Somebody sent a $10 donation to thank you, sis. I said, I don't necessarily believe it. I'm just minding my own business. I don't necessarily believe it that they are, that he smashed her. Like, where's the evidence? Now, I'm gonna listen to it again. I'm gonna play some more of it, and maybe I understand, but I don't necessarily believe that that's the baby mama. That's just me. I could be wrong, but that is me. I could be wrong, but I'm like, because when I looked at it, I'm like, child, are y'all really into this crap? But many people was there. Okay, I'm not understanding that. Now, I want to put this now this topic that I want to talk about, I know I'm going to get a lot of pushback for it, and I know I'm going to get a lot of pushback for it. Let me see if I can pull them up. I'm going to get a lot of pushback, but Nicki Minaj was arrested, and then she was released. But this is the part of Nicki, and I really was thinking about her this weekend. She was on my heart heavy. Number one, I blame her because of the people that she have around because it was drugs. I've told y'all she do drugs. A lot of people assume that weed is a drug. She's so stupid. Like, you're in a foreign country. I believe it was in Amsterdam, and they were saying that, oh, weed is legal. You cannot take the weed on no plane and fly it across the country. You can't do that. It's illegal. Now, the dumb thing about her is that you already a target. Number one, you black. Number one, you in America. Number one, you got all this money. You're going to get caught. And for her to get up there and say, well, weed is legal and then it's not legal, regardless of what it is, it wasn't legal because anytime you was arrested and you charged you, that is not legal. And then she was like, well, my security already admitted that it was a pre-roll. First of all, don't bring that at all, you dummy. I don't understand that. Like, don't bring it. That's stupid. That's dumb. And then if I felt bad for her fans, like, I don't think she really taking it serious on this concert, because why would you do that and then you got your fans waiting for you? Then you got to cancel that. And this is the thing, because people fly into this part of the world to go see her and like, oh, you there, you sitting down, and then they make an announcement, it's canceled. Like, that's crazy. Like, if as a bar, as a fan, that must be called out. Then it was like, oh, she being set up. Set up by who? She brought the drugs. Are you dumb? Who set her up? Well, Rock Nation and Jay-Z and my former managers, they all teamed up. So they put the pre-rolls in your bag. You admitted that your security brought it. Regardless of it at all. If your security brought it, that's a reflection of what you. I don't understand why people travel with drugs. Other countries don't care who you or what. They don't play with the law. The best thing to do is never do drugs. Facts. Never do it. So I don't understand it. I was hurt. I was embarrassed. I'm like, Dad, like, she just going off the rail. It's just time for her to retire. Like, she just messing up. And maybe she did it on purpose to get the much needed publicity. You got to understand, much needed publicity. Now, that's what I personally believe, that much needed publicity. And that's the sad part. Let me see what y'all saying in the chat here. Let me go and scroll down here. Much needed publicity. Thank you, sis. And so when I saw that down my timeline, I was immediately disgusted. And they're saying, well, Nicki Minaj, it's everybody's against her because she's the queen. When you go to it, she was placed under arrest. Then they released her. They said Barb's is going to be eating tea and biscuits in jail. ETA told me they eat pancakes in Amsterdam, not drink tea and eat biscuits. Nicki need to get them more on the maple syrup. Many people are saying, I was hoping somebody would post. Just so happened to catch her tweets. Went to her live when they were walking her into the little cell. Not sure what it is, but as much as I have not really been a fan of Nicki, this seemed effed up. But TCA airports, other countries just don't want to play with that. It could be real bad. They said it was weed. They said it was weed in the bag, and the captain got mad. She posted him on her page. Girl, just follow protocol so you can get out of there for your show on live when you need to be calling your lawyers ASAP. They said, and that's another thing, because they don't like recording, and that what kind of like made it bad. And the only reason why she got a pass is because America got a lot of pull. They probably made one phone call to the people over there and let her go. They didn't want to have no incident, like go and let her go. You know what I'm saying? But it was just dumb because she wasn't even, and the only reason why she got a pass the way because she is famous. If there was another one, she'd have got tased and had handcuffs on just like that. Okay. Now, I don't know about the mugshot again because this did not happen in America, so I don't know. I can't really give y'all an answer for that. But you know, and then again, they were like, just let her go. I mean, just three little pre-roll. It didn't look like she was having cocaine. I believe she was just detained while they do an investigation. Again, I don't know their laws and their customs. She probably was just detained and all of that type of stuff. Yeah. Now, what do y'all got to say about that? Y'all can drop. I'm gonna drop the link in there. Y'all can also call in. What do y'all have to say about this entire ordeal about Nicki Minaj was set up? Also, I got the number on the screen here. If y'all got something to say, I'm sure her securities won't even try that with her. My point is, but you represent your security. Like your security represent you. Like what? But that's what I'm saying. Nothing that security do without the permission of Nicki. So Nicki wanted those pre-rolls, and she wanted to do that. That's what Nicki wanted to do. Let's just keep that all the way clear. And I'm just being honest. I'm not trying to throw shade. I'm just being honest when it comes to stuff like that. Okay. They said Nicki Minaj threatened to fire a tour DJ. Okay. Nicki doesn't seem too happy They said they seem too happy with the DJ on the tour, tweeting out he might end up on the chop about all because he signed a fan, bro. Oh yeah, that's what happened with DJ Boof. I'm sorry if y'all don't know what I just read on TMZ. DJ Boof has signed the boobs of one of her fans, and then she said that she's gonna fire DJ Boof because of that. But clearly she was joking. When I'm like, but anything because you're dealing with clickbait. They want anything just to get clout. Clearly, she was joking about firing DJ Booth, but TMZ took it and said she's gonna fire DJ Booth. It's just been all around bad. And I think, if I'm not mistaken, you guys, ain't this? But I get it. Then people was like, "Well, she don't want people to get a me too, or times up." I don't even know how old the person was. I haven't seen her admit anything. It's always someone else's fault. Yeah, that's just how that goes. Yeah, I was disgusted because this is what was sent to my DM, to my text about that whole ordeal. And I did see her on her channel talking about this. I was upset about it because I'm like, Nicki, you know, you make these type of jokes, people gonna believe that you try to get rid of your producer or your DJ. And don't get me wrong, DJ Booth have been her DJ for over it had to have been over 10 years. It's been a long time for that. Proud of me, you live on the air.
Because a lot of people seem to be confused about how Amsterdam operates. So drugs are not legal in the Netherlands, okay? Some drugs are tolerated. Hard drugs, so like cocaine, heroin, all of that, that is absolutely illegal. They call those hard drugs. Soft drugs like marijuana, shrooms, literally those two things, they're tolerated, meaning you can go to a specific place and purchase them and consume them inside the premises, but under no circumstance are the police just going to let you roll around, you know, smoking all dilly-dally and all of that. Now, what Nicki was trying to do is legally, that's called drug trafficking. You can't purchase drugs in Amsterdam and then think you're going to get on a private jet to Manchester, England with those drugs. That's called drug trafficking.
And she was saying, well, how would I know? But the police got dogs. I mean, they know when you got, obviously she was being watched because, and obviously people tell the police they all work together. And
that's what she was trying to say in the video. But I want to add, it sounded like she was high on something on her live, because at no point in time am I going to pull out my camera when I'm speaking with the police if it's not a life or death situation. I don't think the police were going to, you know, police over in other countries don't even have like guns like that for real.
They don't.
So I don't think they were going to pow her in front of all those people at the airport. Like, be serious. And her security guard was sitting
they don't like, the thing about they didn't want to be recorded because they don't like all that black publicity. This is not America. So
it wasn't, to me, it wasn't a recordable situation. Like, she wasn't being mishandled. They weren't touching her. They were saying, hey, nice. We can't let, exactly.
It was very nice about it.
They were telling her, hey, we found something in your bag. We found drugs in your bag.
Yeah.
And we need you to come down to the station to, you know, for further investigation. Yeah. So they weren't mistreating her. Like, I feel like they were being nice.
Very nice.
Because she's a celebrity.
A1, they laid out the red carpet and everything for her. I just think Nicki, again, you got to understand, she uses as a publicity stunt too. Because if you can tell, she went live outside. She could have still made the show. I think she did all that.
She actually delayed her own show. Had she just cooperated with them, she already admitted to the drugs being in her purse. And then she tried to say, oh, well, no, those aren't my drugs. I don't have drugs. Those are for my security. Why would your security guard put drugs in your purse that is on your person? And you already admitted that the drugs do exist. So then she was trying to say, oh, well, y'all are setting me up. Y'all planted these things. Planted what? You just said that the drugs are not yours, meaning that drugs were present and they were found in your purse. So she was trying to say, oh, the tour manager that I just fired, they work for Rock Nation and they're setting me up because they don't want me to win. My tour has been going so well. They just don't want me to make my show. Ma'am, you probably could have made your show on time had you just cooperated, got in the buggy, went down to the police station, explained what was going on. Oh, hey, I forgot that was in my purse. I'm so sorry. Let me pay this fine and then leave. And then people were like, she had to pay a fine. See, they were trying to shake her down. You guys, when it is not a serious offense, they will let you go and you will still have a fine to pay.
Yeah. But that comes where you're talking about, and I don't want to be offensive. Hey, Issa, I want you to come on and you hit the link, sis. You're dealing with an uneducated demographic, and it's dangerous because they're in a cult. People outside the cult.
It is, and I'm just like, y'all could have sat there and Googled this information. This is why it's important when you want to be a world traveler and fly here and fly there. You need to acquaint yourself with those countries' laws first before you stamp your passport and go over there. Had she looked, and we know this was her mindset because she got on Twitter and tweeted, I am going to Amsterdam where weed is legal. And if her fans were smart, they would have explained to her, no, Onika, weed is not legal over there. You can only have a certain amount, just like in New York. You can only have a certain amount and you won't get arrested, okay?
Right. Because like in Texas, it's illegal because Milagro Grams got high and
had an accident. That's why you're not supposed to be driving and smoking.
Right. And then the truck driver told her, hey, I could smell it on you. Like, hey, you need to put some perfume or something because that's automatically going to be at fault when they can smell that heavy weed on you. And in Texas,
and that's how slow she was. She was so high she didn't even realize the smell was still present in her car.
Yeah, she didn't even know it. And I'm like, girl, because I heard, and I got it all downloaded, all recorded, and everything. But again, when you are a part of that cult, because Milagro got the same mindset as Onika, is lie. No, tell the truth. Like, tell the truth that you effed up, but it's in her ego. This is bad for her tour because number one, you gotta understand, they don't like when you keep canceling shows. It's bad for the morale of your fan base. Nicki.
Now she has to make the show up, and it's like, girl, who's to say the people who bought the tickets for that specific date are going to be available for this new date that you're rescheduling or whatever?
Yeah, that's you're right. You're right. Because even what happened in Vegas, and I know that was a weather thing, but they were pissed. They was like, the wind. I'm like, what about my hotel? Because people forget, if you're traveling, like say for instance, I'm going to Vegas for a concert. That means I'm getting an Airbnb or a hotel.
For a certain amount of time.
But if the concert is canceled, you get your that ticket money back, but you're not gonna get your plane.
You just pay for a hotel for nothing.
You know what I'm saying? And many people go to Vegas for a show. You go there in particular for a show. For me personally, I add that to what I'm doing on Vegas, but not just go that just for that because things can be canceled. Like next year, I will probably I'll be a resident, full-fledged resident, and then WrestleMania coming. I won't be as mad if it get canceled. Because
you live there.
live in Vegas, but I will be pissed if I fly out there for those 2 days, and then you spend
just for the concert,
right? And then they say, "Oh, it's canceled." Like you would be pissed. You would be pissed the fuck off because you.
And then this is how slow Onika is. So she was like, "Well, the people at the airport were trying to search my bags, and I didn't give them permission to search my bags, ma'am." When you go to an airport, they search everybody's bags. What are you talking about?
Yeah. She made it about herself. Everybody's bags be searched. I don't think people understand the laws. Like that's simple.
Like what do you mean? They search your bags without your permission. Everybody's bags get searched. She should know this. I really think something is wrong with her. Like I really think she's delayed because you have been famous for too long and traveled to too many countries. been in too many airports to not understand that everybody's bags get searched at the airport. It's the airport.
And they think just because you at a private airport or you're fine privately, you can't be searched. But no, you still.
No, ma'am. There are people there where the private jets be. There are people there to also, guess what? Search your bag.
Yeah. Yeah. They will search. They will search. They will search. And you got to understand, people get paid big money to catch people like Nicki or Snoop Dogg or 50 Cent. It makes their career look well. Because like if your job is to come hard on criminals, that what gives you the best publicity? Taking down a Nicki Minaj, taking down a 50 Cent, taking down a Snoop Dogg. Because even Snoop Dogg, he would even keep money for his fines because he know he was going to break it anyway. And he would just have the money, period, and just pay the fines. Because he was a heavy smoker. But again, like someone said, they decriminalized it, but meaning that it's not legal, but they're not going to put
it's tolerated, but it's not legal.
Yeah, it's not legal.
Just like they have like prostitution is tolerated in Amsterdam in a specific area.
In the Pacific,
you can go over there and get a license over there to prostitute. But no, you can't just prostitute all over Amsterdam.
Right. That's the same thing in Nevada. They say in certain parts of Nevada is legal, but you can't do it on the strip. Like it's only certain areas where you can buy yoni. But do it stop people from breaking the law, advertising to buy it on the strip? No, and they're gonna never stop that. In the words of Tasha, she called them hookers. So
and then the thing about it is, like, she's like, oh, y'all are trying to sabotage me and blah, blah, blah. Oh, Nika, we would not have even known that you got arrested
if she didn't go live.
You not live stream it.
That's true.
You chose to do that.
And most of the media folk, and then shout out to Chelsea, Tasha K employee. She was like, y'all need to be on it. The blogs are lazy. If it's not being posted somewhere else where they can copy it, they don't have reporters that they're paying for to follow Nicki Minaj around. They don't have that.
Nobody wanted to post it at first. When I sent this to you on Saturday morning, no one had posted about it.
Nobody
had posted because they were like, well, I don't know, this is probably fake. And I'm like, no, it's not fake. Y'all, no one is talking about it yet.
But the thing is, on their part about it, let's be clear. They're lazy because the Shade Room, y'all got money to call somebody in Amsterdam to say, hey, have y'all arrest this American. Y'all don't have no sources at the embassy from America, because, America's everywhere. So you can call somebody, you know what I'm saying? But they were afraid to post it because Nicki audience, they bully people. And I know Caillou, he's scared. He's very scared when it comes to and the Shade Room, they just as scared as Caillou. But Caillou definitely is scared. But nobody, not even Jason Lee posted it. Everybody was afraid. And I was shocked at Jason because he posted about the Queen was dead months before she.
Right.
But then also too, a lot of it happened on Saturday, correct? Was it on Sunday or Saturday? If it happened on
this was early Saturday morning.
Lazy
it was early Saturday morning here.
Even myself, Chad, we was in the bed, Chad, like, but that comes from, especially for the Shade Room. I was shocked because they didn't post it until because I got the alert until like a couple of hours after Prada sent it to me. A couple of hours, then they posted it and they said all that.
Then some people had hurry up and hopped on YouTube talking about Nicki Minaj got arrested in Manchester. No, sir, she had not even left Amsterdam.
Yeah, but that's a lot of people don't do their research and stuff like that. They don't do their research. They don't do their research, and that's the sloppiness of Black blogs. That's why even TMZ didn't even post it. I don't think they knew it
because everybody was like. They were like, oh, no, we think this is fake. This isn't real. No, it's very real. If you sat there and watched her live, you could see in her voice, she had her camera pointed at that dungeon inside the police car. And she kept asking the police, who's going in this vehicle? You, ma'am, you're being arrested. You're going in the vehicle. What are you talking about?
I think.
Didn't you say you were a dragon in the dungeon or Roman was in the dungeon or something? Right. That's your dungeon. Get in there.
She said, who's going there? I think Nicki, unfortunately, it's just time for her to retire, man.
Queen said, wait, Wiley, Queen said they closed the door on her and the live went off. Yeah. Locked her ass right.
She recorded the whole thing kind of up until that point. Then She went to her hotel. DJ Boo, where's the party? Girl, you ain't going to no party. But she say this stuff, and then her fans outside the window, her hotel, and she just, she's the Michael Jackson of rap. That's a lie. That little crowd out there is nowhere near to Michael Jackson.
Please, Backstreet Boys had more people outside their hotel back in 1998 when they were in Mexico. Goodbye.
Yeah, they said she is the Michael Jackson of the rap.
Child, please. Y'all get a gathering of 13 people and think it's a large crowd.
Yeah, that's what they said. They said she's the Michael Jackson of the rap game. That's what the Barbs said. Again, I am praying for her fans that they get out of this delusional moment, but I would have been pissed. I'm in the venue, right? You got
Wiley, there is no possible way I would have took my phone out and started live streaming myself getting arrested. Do you know how embarrassing that is?
It is embarrassing for Nicki, yeah, because they call her dumb. Like you could tell, like she embarrassed. You could tell. You could tell, like her peers probably like, child, this lady is just stupid. You would think Cardi
and Jay-Z probably sitting up somewhere laughing. Like, what are you talking about?
And then
everything is Live Nation's fault.
Yeah, that's Tory Lane's daddy. That's
what?
It's Live Nation. She's still throwing out at Megan, no, honey, you got caught with the pre-rolls in your purse.
In your purse. Then she was trying to say, oh, that's for the security guard. He got a purse? He has your purse.
And they said, the security guard said it was his. Of course he gonna say it's his. Now he don't want his boss to get arrested. But she had it. But my thing is this, she could have easily got some stuff in the UK, some weed in the UK. Come on now, it's weed.
That's what I'm saying. If you know someone in the area, they can get it for you. Like there's really no, especially somebody of her stature, there really is no reason for you to be trying to transport drugs from country to country.
That's stupid.
That is drug trafficking. Like, what do you think drug trafficking is?
Yeah, even Whitney Houston had people to get her some crack in Japan, like some drugs.
Lord.
You know what I'm saying? And they found, like, I don't understand. It's just like she ain't thinking, like she's off her game. I think
because I really think she's on like actual hard drugs. Yeah. Like, there's no way you can tell me a sober person would sit there and do what she did. She admitted to the drugs being in her purse. Then she was like, oh, wait, no, those aren't my drugs. Then she got on Twitter. They planted drugs on me. Ma'am, we just heard you say.
Where was her husband? Where was her husband? Was her husband there?
You know that man is a felon. I don't think felons can just, travel across the country like that.
Yeah. Okay. Because All right.
No.
All right, you guys. Y'all heard that about Nicki Minaj. I'm not a fan of her. Like, I can still listen to her music, but she had been like, you can kind of tell she got that has-been on her, and she just fighting it, and she just going down, down, down.
You know what is giving, Wiley? And I'm not even trying to be funny. It's giving Wendy Williams Part 2. It's giving Kenneth Petty is sitting there letting her spiral until she has to get locked up somewhere, and then he just gonna have a field day with her bank account.
Yeah, because it's really sad, man, that she going through this. Me personally, I don't think she wanted to do this tour. I think financially she had to do it.
Well, they said, according to Kim Barbie, she has all type of liens and stuff, so she's not even making any money from this tour. So I agree with you. I don't think she was excited to go on tour. Now, I've seen pictures of the set or whatever. The set is really pretty. I love the colors. But I don't think, would you want to go on tour if you weren't getting paid?
No. But she effed up. When she abandoned that tour, because she wasn't selling. But you still gotta, it's rough, because I didn't even know like Live Nation put you on contract and you have to do so many dates. And a lot of times people take out loans in touring. That's dangerous, but they do that to sell hot dog, and you don't get none of the hot dog money, none of the Polish sausages, none of the alcohol money,
none of the merch money.
A lot of that you just in debt, and it's just really, really sad. That's why a lot of people want to go back old school and just get the venues themselves, put up the money themselves because they get but it's a risk because if it don't sell, then you in a hole. But if it sell out,
if it does, you get 100% of the proceeds.
You get 100% of the proceeds because Live Nation. Because one artist said he would get on contract and they give him $1 million, but then you in debt, and then you got to do so many days to pay the other debt off. Then you get another loan.
And let's talk about that. You don't think record companies know that? They want you to be in debt.
They want you
because you're going to be indebted to them.
Yeah.
That's where the term slave contract comes from.
Yeah.
You're indebted to these people.
Yeah, you don't get none of the hot dog money, all the concessions. You don't make a dime of that money, but it's your fans that's there in the building, but you don't get a dime of that money. They get it all.
Right.
And so, because a lot of people, you got to go back old school, get the venues, buy the venues out yourself. But the return of, because it's expensive, but the return of it is good if you can sell out. But a lot of times people, like you said, I think someone told me this previously, they're nervous, they're scared, they're afraid, they're fearful to go against the system because if you fail, then you can get blackballed. Like, oh, you think you the itch, let me show you. But if you succeed, then you can win. But me personally, I've always said artists should just go back doing it on a smaller scale, getting them smaller venues and do it like that. Now, some artists are getting smart. They don't want to do Live Nation, but Live Nation is so powerful that they end that, and it's so sad. Just really, because I didn't.
Well, let's discuss that too. Let's discuss that too, because from my understanding, Rock Nation owns a part of Live Nation. So again, Onika, if you feel like Rock Nation is trying to sabotage you, why on earth would you use them to tour? I don't understand. Are you slow or are you dumb?
Yeah. And then yeah, that's true. But if she signed a contract, it's too late. It's too late because it's sad, man. Like, I didn't know how ruthless that touring is, but they say a lot of artists ain't making money selling music, so the labels and all these
they rely on touring. Yeah,
they take advantage of.
But it's like, again, that's what happens when you're a clout chaser. When you're, oh my God, I need a record deal. I need a record deal. Instead of sitting there and putting in the work to create your own label and your own record deal, your own record company, your own record label, recording your own music, so you can own all of your stuff and you don't have to deal with this type of foolishness.
That's facts. That's right. I want to also, if anybody else want to call in, you can give your thoughts about Nicki. But my thing is this, I've said it before, Nicki Minaj's time is dwindling down fast. And
I feel like it's been over. And her fans keep trying to make fetch re-happen. No, Nicki was on top for I don't know how many years, and she sat there and moved the way she did and did all this other type of foul stuff behind the scenes, and people are tired of it.
It's time for her to move on, though, because y'all got to understand, Nicki Minaj.
She should have had some type of exit plan in already set.
Yeah, makeup.
Why are you still out here touring and making putting makeshift albums together?
And then she said she got a new album coming out in a couple of months.
Probably because she's contractually obligated to release another album.
Yeah.
So what a mess.
Yeah, because she don't even own her masters. Didn't they sold her masters?
Michael Jackson I think Lil Wayne still owns her masters unless he sold them, but that's too bad. So Michael Jackson 25 said Madonna Ancient Vampire Cells had a successful tour at 65 and after 40 years. Crazy. That's Madonna. Yeah. Madonna actually has a great catalog, like classic songs. Yeah. Name one classic Nicki Minaj song. I'm asking a serious question. Name one classic.
Give me that look. Give me that look. And he's coming off. Excuse me, hell of a guy.
A classic Nicki Minaj song.
Okay.
I don't know, what song is that? What song is that?
Bass.
That's where we're going with. So we're gonna put a boom 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 bass with which Madonna song, because the Confessions on the Dance Floor album by Madonna.
Okay. But
sweet.
Nicki do have some classic. The thing is with Nicki is that she's trying to keep up with the younger crowd.
at 40-something years old is not working out. You look crazy.
It's not working. I personally thought that she was going to get into acting. I personally thought that she was going to get into like producing Broadway shows, like slapping her name onto things to make more bread. She could have had her own production.
You gotta have money to do that.
That's true.
Candy Burris and Todd Tucker did that. They started putting their money behind producing Broadway shows and stuff. And I believe at least one of the shows that they produced on Broadway was nominated for a couple of Tony Awards. But you have to have bread to do that. I don't think she has any bread for real. And y'all be sitting up here talking about, oh no, I think this person is rich. Well, the moves that they're making would show to me that they're not as rich as y'all think they are.
And they said that Nicki don't even own her house. Like it's like liens. Like there's a lot of.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah, a lot of.
You know who else don't own their homes? Diddy. But y'all keep telling me this man is rich. I don't think so.
No, I just think that he have his name carries weight, the illusion. But when you look at the bank account, what you have.
But look what happened. I'm glad you brought that up because look what happened with Sean Kingston and his mom. They were using Sean Kingston's name to get stuff loaned out to them, and then were defrauding the people.
And then
now they're sitting up in jail.
They came. I was shocked because
not me.
The lawyer came.
I've been telling y'all these people are broke. You probably have more money than them, Wiley.
It's sad because he came to the house and they said he and then the lawyer was messy. He said he don't own a house, he's renting it. He's a liar.
Yikes.
The mama didn't have on no hair. Looked like she was bald as she can be.
I think they made her take off her wig. That's embarrassing.
Because she didn't have no hair. It was gold. It's like it's my thing is that Sean Kingston could have easily done acting. Like, but you gotta know when you waste your money, like he was hot back in the day.
Right, and he should have invested in some stuff or opened some businesses or something. That's irresponsible.
That's irresponsible. And then you took them people big screen TV. I think the guy said was worth $150,000.
It was some type of LED entertainment system. Why do you need, if you broke, why do you need $100,000 entertainment system?
And then when they was outside, other creditors was calling like, hey, we got some stuff in there. And that lawyer made sure to show up to the house. And he was doing a press conference. So like, bruh, if give them people they stuff back. Now he got charges. I think they talking about the mama got charged for fraud. He got charged for fraud. Mm-hmm. And then she tried to get her get it down for $10,000 per count, like getting on there of doing like to get bailed out. And the judge said no, because previously she had some of the fraud stuff back in her on her record. So the judge denied it. So it's like $20,000.
Yes, how the people said they've been scamming, and then Cubano said about Nicki should have had a Barb's makeup line by now. She should have had a wig line, blah blah blah. Yeah,
it's so sad.
Exactly.
Because you see Beyonce is now building up this beauty mogul thing now. The one that Rihanna and Beyonce had to do it because Beyonce got money, but I just think for her legacy, she want to get more. That's going to sell when she's like long gone. Like that's like $1 billion industry that Beyonce is trying to do. And other than posting pictures, she being more personable. Something that Rihanna did, and Rihanna made a lot of money because it's more money doing that. You ain't got to tour as much. You got to work hard for the money that Beyonce built. But the average artist will never reach that level ever, a Beyonce level. And then also Beyonce is married to one of the most successful people in the industry. He got an NFL bag. He got a management bag. And Jay-Z is a shark himself. But the average person will never reach that level. Nicki, unfortunately, never reached that level. When we got back to, remember that thing when Ice Spice and those text messages came out and Ice Spice was...
Yes. That was so embarrassing.
It was very embarrassing. And then she was like, she's just like my mom. She's getting bad. This is a different time. I didn't make them. And so many words. Ice Spice said, listen, I didn't sign them bad deals. And and then Nicki tried to be like Lil Wayne. Well, when Lil Wayne, I just did it. She was like, well, I'm not you. I'm not that desperate. I own my master. I didn't even know that Ice Spice owned her masters. I didn't know that.
She sure does.
She
sure does.
So
Some of the artists are getting smarter and, realizing, okay, that's not a good business move to not own my masters.
Yeah.
So I didn't read that about Iceberg.
I really thought Nicki Minaj owned her masters, and I was shocked. But when I looked,
no, and I don't think she has any money to buy them back either.
Yeah, that's true. Because there's so many it's only a handful of Black artists that own their masters. That's sad.
And I don't know if I told you this before, but there was tea spilled not too long ago that Onika is upset because she thought that she was going to sign with Roc Nation when she first came out. So it was going to be Beyonce, Rihanna, and Nicki Minaj on Roc Nation. And, Nicki is also from New York, so she really wanted to be signed to Roc Nation. She didn't care about Cash Money. Cash Money those are Southern rappers. They're from Louisiana.
Yeah, and I feel she's
don't want to be on that label.
Type of way. She's some type of way. Well, Kim was in talks of Roc Nation representing her, but I think Kim knew, like, I don't want to be.
You don't want to get caught up in that.
This slave contract, because a lot of them contracts that Jay-Z was giving out, they were slave contracts.
He next. So we talking about Diddy today, but word on the street is Jay-Z is next.
Yeah, because that's what Jaguar Wright was saying. And Jay-Z is next. And then Jaguar Wright was talking, and Claudia, you should know you was sitting on his lap. You was just I'm like, oh my gosh. And but it's really something, because I'm like, when you look at Jay-Z, when you look at that era, they learned that from the white boys. They learned how to use Black talent, because a lot of them are still connected to the white power structure. So what they're
Jay-Z is really good friends with this man named Leora Cohen.
Right.
If you want to give him a quick Google.
Yeah. And he's connected to a lot of them. So what they'll do is, let's deal with Jay-Z, and he Black, but on the back end, you still connected to the white power structure. They still funnel that money back to them, and them contracts are when you look. One of the guys said all of it will be 360, and then when he refused the 360, they brought a counter offer, still technically a 360 deal. So it's like a lot of them deals don't make sense, because when years pass, you're gonna be in debt on top. But that's why a lot of artists, they crumble mentally, so because they sign like these terrible deals, and they have to be on the road at Patti LaBelle age or at Donna Ross age. Had to be on the road, and because you're not making enough money. Look at all the greats that was in the 60s, and we talking about that was on Motown. But Motown, when them artists, be honest, they were on slave contracts. They were not being paid fairly. A lot of them artists.
Look what happened to TLC.
Right. TLC, the same thing. They said, we are broke as broke can be. They told the truth. They were the first artists that in today's society that went viral, if that makes sense, and just told it like it is, that they were broke. I couldn't believe it. Many people at the time couldn't believe it, because like, oh my God. And then Left Eye just broke it down in the math, and really broke it down in simpler terms about how they can be broke. And it's sad. And that spirit of the industry, and it's only three companies. I think it's Sony, Universal, and there's one more. It's only like three power players in the industry now that pretty much controls the recording. And now AI is about to take over. And AI is so dangerous. Someone did a Whitney Houston movie, right? And they used her real face, and I thought that was Whitney Houston. I'm like, oh my God. And that was AI. That's how it's going to replace acting. It's going to be so easy to make movies now. And it's going to be dangerous, because that's the new battle, because the law haven't caught up, that I can use Nicki Minaj's face and do it in a movie. Even YouTube now give you an option. Click if this actually happened in real life. Click yes or no. But most people going to click no. And they're making money now on YouTube where if you think it's the person, not even a person. That's the danger of AI. But go ahead. I'm sorry.
So, I'm glad you brought that up, because the film industry is still halted. There are very few small number of productions that are being allowed to work right now. But talks have halted because they're still caught up on the AI. Studios are saying, no, we want to pay you. So basically, Wiley, a studio would say to you, let's say you're an actor, they'll say to you, Marquise, so we're going to pay you $125 to use your likeness in the film, but you have to sign this contract saying that we have the legal right to use your likeness, your photo, your voice, in I forget the word, but forever, basically.
That's sad. And
it is.
It's really, really sad. And a lot of times it's they're gonna just steal it. And you know, there is no law. Well, there is laws like likeness, but it's difficult to prove because AI is that's the danger of AI, especially in the film industry, because you're gonna see it bluntly. In a lot of film, they're just gonna do it. They're gonna do these independent films. You think it's gonna be Nicki Minaj in the film, and because party promoters, you know how party promoters slap somebody's name on or a picture on and say they know it and blah blah blah, get the people in the building.
Right.
It's gonna be worse because you already consumed it, so you done made millions of dollars off of a project that Nicki wasn't even in. But how would you know? Because AI is so advanced. I mean, it is so advanced now that even Tyler Perry put a halt to expanding his studio because he said you don't even got to build a set no more or having snow. In the computer system, it's so advanced. You could type something in, you can get snow. You won't even know
in perpetuity. Thank you, AW.
You won't even know the difference between the two. You won't know the difference. And it's AI is really dangerous, and that's why they've been protesting, because they really want protections, but unfortunately greed, you ain't gonna be protected. Greed, because even Congress don't even know about the seriousness of AI. They're not educated in AI. You got a lot of old folks that's in Congress barely can use their iPhone, so you think they educated about artificial intelligence? No.
There's a TV show about this that I want y'all to watch. You too, Wiley. It's on Peacock. It's called The Capture. It talks about this exact thing. People using AI, somebody's likeness, to commit crimes, and then the actual person being arrested for it.
That's the future of it. Like, you can see that.
Yeah.
You can see that happening. And it is so dangerous of it. That's a scary thing, because even now the CIA and I mean the FBI put out a warning because how AI is going to be used. This is the first election where we're going to see the blunt of the evil of AI, where you're going to get these robocalls of President Biden. You can get videos you think it's him, it's not him, because the average person don't know how to do their due diligence of doing a simple Google search. They're not that wise. And so that's why it will be able to to move like a virus. And it's so sad because AI is a powerful tool. And in America, the government been using this stuff for decades. But now corporate America said, let's take it to the mainstream, because they're going to make a lot of money on the AI companies. Like, AI is taking over. I feel for editors, a lot of editor jobs going to be gone, phased out. Because AI is going to be able to do everything. You're going to be able to edit a movie in AI, if not already. Put all that raw footage in there. Tell AI what you want it to be. It's going to do it. That's a lot of jobs gone out of the film industry.
Corporate is doing this thing now where during the interview process, they'll tell you, or like try to sneak it in, like, yeah, well, you know, we're going to be recording this interview. And you have to stop and ask them, like, okay, what are you going to do with the recording? Well, it's only going to be accessible via a private link on YouTube. No. No.
And it's just like, you know, even like all them audition tapes, they can use that.
Exactly.
And put AI on it. I mean, that's how dangerous it is. And I do feel for my sisters and brothers in the film industry, and also in the trucking industry. It was a sister came out. They're saying in the next 10 years there will be self-driving trucks because our our children, our grandchildren, great-grandchildren, they will be in a more technology world. Like, they're gonna look back at this moment. Dang, somebody was driving. Ooh, like that's, you know what I'm saying? That's gonna be like almost riding a horseback.
Well, you know, Tesla has the self-driving feature on their vehicles.
Right, but it's in the early stage. I'm talking about it's gonna be so thing of you gonna have a plane in your backyard and be able to get in there because the plane gonna be able to fly by itself. I believe that gonna happen. You know what I'm saying? You're gonna have, you know, energy, you know, electric planes. Like it's gonna all like they even got patents for for like cars like driving in the air, like air flying cars. There's already patents for that have been on there since a long time. So if your patent is, that means it's going to happen. What are you patenting for? You're patenting for to come out for winter. But I also would say this though, it's going to be dangerous because you're going to have a lot of I don't want to talk about what could happen in the future with that. Can't even drive.
A lot. It's a lot of mess.
Can you imagine?
Just think about all the stuff that goes on land with people driving cars. Exactly. We already have to deal with stuff. So just imagine that extra element. Now the cars are flying. They're up in the air. Child, please.
Can you imagine the type of people going to get deleted with all of the material crashing, head-on collision, or all that stuff just coming out of the air? It's just like but we're in that generation that, and I was watching this, and 60 Minutes did a great piece on it. He said, we always dealt with technology and human, we adapt to it. But he said AI is so advanced that it's speeding up the timeline. Like it is not going to be 20 years, 30 years, it may be less than 10. And a lot of jobs going to be gone. Like the restaurant, that's going to be gone. And again, we don't know. We can read, we can predict, but in every type of technology advancement, the human, we adapted to it. We adapted to it. I don't know about AI. Many people, they don't know. They're guessing because this is new. I don't know how we're going to adapt to that. AI just taking over. What are people going to do? What about the working class? Yeah. Is it, you know what I'm saying? Even they even saying they're going to even have some AI stuff that's to teach you to advance. Like it's gonna be able to reboot and do a self-diagnostic test. You're not even gonna need a human to do that. So it's gonna be like a lot. They said we probably be married to AI. They may have their own rights.
I'm weak. I was just about to speak on that. They're trying to usher in something called transhumanism, where human beings get like some type of AI technology implanted on our brains. I think Elon Musk was trying to do, or he's doing tests on monkeys with some type of brain chip. But yeah, that's what they're trying to like bring to the forefront.
It's a lot with AI, me and Prada have talked about this before about the whole actors and the strike and everything, because even the writers are afraid because now AI can write a movie.
Yep, Chat GPT.
It's so advanced, you know what I'm saying? Can write a whole movie.
But I feel like, I know you say you feel bad for us in the film industry. I don't feel bad for these people because years and years ago, when things were going on set, nobody wanted to lose their job, so they didn't speak up. Now we're here. Yeah. Now ain't none of them people got a job except a small few.
Yeah, I think they should have been spoke up years ago to
exactly
and everything like that. It is so sad, man, because AI is taking over. Like now, the fast food now. If we already got some restaurants that are automatic, so what do? Other companies, they look, okay, let's see, blah, 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 get all the kinks, and then before you know it, McDonald's going to announce 300 of their restaurants going to be full with no humans. Then it's a domino effect. They allow somebody to be the test dummy, maybe one or two, and then they got one in California, I'm not mistaken. They say, oh, it tastes so good. Next thing you know, just keep watching. Maybe a year from now, then McDonald's make that grand announcement. Within 2040, it's going to be 440% of our restaurants going to be full automatic. But in some areas, they may have to have humans because, you got thieves. Remember the self-checkout? And that was so grand. And what happened? Theft went up. People start stealing.
Yeah.
And then they had to revert back to having cashiers because the theft went up. But you fired people because you didn't want it. You thought it was going to save money, and a lot of them places lost out on billions of dollars once they flipped over from self-checkout.
Yeah, because the people were taking like items that were like $1 and some change, and replacing the tag on like meat that was like $20-something or whatever.
They were doing,
and I'm like, that's what y'all get.
That's what you
and
get.
Kudos to the people who thought of that because they were ahead of their time.
Absolutely, but now they're gonna have places where you're not even going to go inside. I can see this happen. If not, where you're going to order the stuff and you're just going to pick it up. You can't go inside. It's all about online pickup. Remember how how Amazon is to get delivered to your house? It's going to be that option too. But also that's already going on. But you're going to be able to order from the store and then they're going to come pick it up and a robot going to bring it to your car. You're never going to be able to come into that. So like that whole human interaction is phasing out very quickly. And just like
it's gonna be iRobot. Remember the movie iRobot with Will Smith?
It definitely happened. Like they even got the drones now. In some areas, you will see it more than the hood because they're gonna steal them drones. They're gonna steal a lot of packages, but they already took us. Like in some parts of California, they have it where the delivery it's like a robot be delivered. That can't happen in certain areas, especially
that's crazy
in O Block because that's gonna be gone.
I was just about to say old Black was steal it.
Steal the robot.
Or shoot it down.
Right. They gonna steal all that. They said Steve said Amazon have a self-checkout market, nobody inside the market. Yeah, so it's a different era, y'all. It's a different era. But I am praying. Let me say this though. But I am praying for our future, man. Our future. Some of us gonna adapt better than others, but some gonna suffer. Because it's definitely happening. Because even a lot of companies now don't even care about you having a degree now, because you're not gonna need it.
Well, there was a debate about that not too long ago. Somebody on YouTube had played a video of a man, I guess he works for a corporate company, and he was basically saying like nobody cares about the degrees you have or your experience. If you're being interviewed, they already know that you have the experience. The interview is to see if they like you or not. And I was like, that's actually kind of true.
That's true. That's true. In China, somebody said AI can't do CNA job. Well, in China, there is developing a robot to do. It's going to be a danger because it's quite. I don't know how they will be able to do it again because I'm not like that. Because you're still gonna need human interaction. Because how could you deal with a dementia patient? How can you maybe some parts of it, because some of it didn't need AI. Some of these people don't want to do them type of jobs, but it will be quite dangerous because what if they rip off your arm and all that type of stuff? Or just
they have robots doing certain types of surgery, and that's happened a couple of times. The robot messed up or left the instrument inside somebody.
It's just sad. Yeah, because that's the whole point about it is I want to know, can you still sue the hospital if a robot do it and not a doctor? I think you still can.
I think they make you fill out some type of form beforehand. Mm-hmm.
It's sad, you guys. Again, we talking about it because in music, that's going to replace a lot of artists because they can still use Whitney Houston vocals. I don't know how dangerous, because do she control her vocals now that she's gone? Or can they still use her vocals to do a song? Because I listen to some records, I'm like, is this a new record? And that's all AI. You know what I'm saying? And this is just the beginning stages of AI and all of that. They say y'all are cracking me up in the chat. Robot ended up.
They are.
And there's someone they said fucking Aniva said that. Okay, because I'm looking at the whole, like, because some of them AI records are good. I'll be like, oh my God, I can't even tell the difference. I can't tell the difference from the real person from AI. And remember, back the biggest advancement in music was what was that? Auto-tune. Now auto-tune baby, the whole thing. And a lot of artists said they're gonna depend on AI. If they can't hit a note, AI gonna hit it. Like,
wow,
crazy. Cause it's, you know what I'm saying?
So we're gonna have AI Grammys.
You said what?
We're gonna have AI Grammys.
Yeah, you're gonna have AI Grammys. Yeah, whole thing. You ain't saying none of them stuff like that, and that's gonna be a good money maker for them industry because they already invested in all of that type of stuff. For that, I want to know how would that work though? Like, how would that be? Do you control your voice? They said
no. The record company
AI. Wow.
Yeah, the record company will make all the proceeds from that.
They said there's still a surge of pressure for things like that. It's like, but you know what? For me, it's like so tiring. Like they even gonna try to work to put a head on a different body or put a body.
Child, they've been trying to do that.
So I saw that on YouTube. I'm like, oh my God, child. But it's a lot of stuff. Like they even have bodies frozen like in a little tube.
Yeah, they have heads frozen too.
Yeah, they have all that type of stuff. So a lot of stuff we late to the party because a lot of this stuff have been studied since the 60s and we are in 2024. But I can't wait for AI where if you can get AI and they can do an examination. I can't wait. Would love for that. So you ain't got to worry about being on months so they can find out for, to see if you got cancer or see if you got like a brain. You do it really, really early.
Exactly.
I would love to have that. Like if you could just get AI could just do a whole, just like your phone can just scan your body and it could just tell you what you need. What this, I would love for that. That is what I'm looking forward to. Instead of you wait for months on top of months on top of months on top of months. But AI is dangerous because I remember it was a guy, AI said that he robbed this store and then he went to jail. he got gang R-word and he was innocent. It was a black man. He was innocent.
Remember that movie? There was a movie about this called Minority Report.
It's sad. Anything that's called Minority Report, is bad. If AI,
yeah, that movie with Tom Cruise. It came out a long time ago. Like, somehow they could see in the future or whatever, if I'm not mistaken. And so, if you were predicted to possibly commit a crime in the future, they were going to arrest you in the present. Yeah.
It's sad. So anything, even they say even AI is racist.
Y'all need to stop.
That's what I'm saying. I am praying for it's really something, man. AI is very prevalent in here. We in the beginning stages of it, but we haven't seen the blunt of it yet. But it's gonna be some cases of people gonna be accused of crimes they weren't nowhere near there, but because of AI. And you already dealing, and our justice system is already racist at its core.
Mm-hmm.
So it's gonna be dangerous with that. It's gonna be
we don't even have a grip on the stuff that we have going on right now, and they're trying to introduce AI and all this other stuff. Child, please.
It's really sad because like the AI is very dangerous. That's dangerous to a core of criminals going to use that to steal so much money from people. But I am praying for our future, man. I think our government is behind schedule with this because they're not. This is the key. They're
behind schedule because they've been doing stuff that they weren't supposed to be doing, and now they don't know what's going on.
They don't.
Yeah, on all sides.
And our government is very slow when it comes to change. It's a very slow thing, and I am praying for the future of this country. But AI,
we saw that with the immigration crisis in New York. How y'all invited all these people into the country and y'all don't have anywhere for them to go? No type of law and order, no organization, nothing.
And they just depended on the local governments there, and they was confused because they was like, hell, we can't even deal with the rat problem in New York City. You talking human beings? Come on now. Let's keep it all the way real here. Well, you guys, that was another conversation about AI. Of course, we're gonna see some more stories about it in the future. Thank you so very much, Pardon Me, for coming on. Definitely.
Yes, thank you. Y'all call in and give y'all thoughts on these great topics Wiley has introduced us to.
Yes, thank you so very much. They said those
Thank you, Wiley. Bye.
those AI voice commercials for government checks are annoying. Okay. But it's the future of it. You guys, thank y'all so very much. This was good for me to come on the show and chit chat with y'all. I'm gonna finish up packing and all that good stuff. I'm not gonna take everything. Of course, I'm gonna take my laptop and myself, of course. Thank you all for your amazing support there. Make sure y'all be in the building. And these are only a select few stories that I talked about. Of course, I will talk about some more stuff as well later on here. And they say it's gonna rain. I don't look like it's gonna rain. Why I keep sending me stuff that it's gonna rain? They say it's gonna rain. I see y'all in here. Also, that was good that we had got Queen B More up in here to talk about Jada Pinkett Smith. Okay. Welcome. Love you all. Okay, we talked about a lot. I'm just looking down on this documentary, these lists of stuff like here. Thank you for y'all support. Oh, thank you so very much. Okay. I'm looking at the stuff that I really here for. Thank you. All right. So I'm gonna yes. So looking forward to it, you guys. To Vegas. Y'all said, okay. They said Paul Cabo staying in Texas. Listen, I'm looking forward to this whole Vegas shift. I am nervous. Thank you for those that have donated. I'm nervous, but I'm also excited to do content there. I'm excited to get into this different environment. I took my allergy medicine. I got to find some more when I get there. Really looking forward to it. This change, and I'm gonna hit the ground running and moving. Is Paul moving? Of course, we gotta take Paul everywhere with us. I am like super excited. This is gonna be great. Was on the Minority Report TV show on Fox 2. Oh, thank you, Megan Good. That's exciting for her. I love her. Yes, we'll be back live again because I am not gonna sleep. Because I don't want to oversleep. But I am gonna wash some more of my clothes and everything. So make sure y'all be in the building for that. We're gonna get some more stories to talk about for that. And we also seen Whole Wiley Don't start wearing glitter show wearing glitter and show music. No. No, absolutely not. I'm going to reach out to Sherelle's World to show you around the city. We were mentioned earlier by someone, but everybody was like, "Well, why Vegas?" Listen, I think Vegas is a great place, and I'm looking forward to it for the love and for the support, and it's gonna be fun. I'm looking forward to it. Nervous, super nervous to make that change, and still nervous. So we're here for it. Okay, so love you all. But Wednesday, you guys, we would do a video, and I'm glad because like if I get off at 6, then that's 2 hours. 6. Oh wait, that'd be like 8, 9 y'all time. So a lot of times I'm gonna have to hurry up and get home and hurry up and do a video. They said we better not find you in those Vegas brothels. No, oh my gosh, no, I'm not gonna be in a Vegas brothel. I will not be having my green screen and stuff yet, you guys. But I will keep y'all updated about that with Vegas and stuff. I'm just looking forward to it. Love you all so very much for y'all support. But I will not. They say he's going to be in no bathhouse. No, I'm not going to be in the bathhouses. I'm looking forward to it. Love you all. Little black boy, you beautiful. Little black girl, you are enough. When times can always remember to put God first. This was an exciting show, you guys. I know y'all gonna love it, and we'll be back live because it's something else pop off. You can definitely keep me updated or anything that pop off. Again, I am sending my prayers for Martin Lawrence, and I pray that he be honest and tell us the truth about what's going on. Pray that God heal him in his body completely. In Jesus' name I pray. Thank God. Amen. Lord, bless all of us as we make this transition to Vegas, that it be blessings, that doors open up. And I thank you all so very much. For anybody that needed a blessing, touch and agree and say amen and say these words: I need a blessing. I need a blessing. Just put that right then and there, and God will open up doors for you, and you. They said, reach out to Baby Storm. Who is Baby Storm? And we also had Issa Berry in the chat, too. She didn't hit the link. She was actually in the chat, too. We had Issa Berry in there in the chat. Y'all give us some love. Y'all give us some love right there. She was in the chat. So we wish y'all well, and we will see y'all in the future. Thank y'all so very much. We need bless. Come on. And we'll be back with another live because we got some more stuff. They said she wants attention bad. Oh, who is that? Who wants attention bad? Wait a minute. Who is that want attention bad? Oh, Bashata, Bashata, Baha. Oh, who is that? Wait a minute. Who is that want attention bad? Okay. What in the world? Who is this? I'm gonna mind my business. I don't know who that is. Okay. I'm gonna mind my business. What? Oh my gosh. Okay. That was funny. That was funny. So yeah, love you all, and I will see y'all later. And if something else pop up, let me know. Give me a juicy story so we can come back live again. Talk to y'all later. Bye-bye.